Imagine staring into the depths of space, expecting to see countless stars, galaxies, and cosmic wonders, only to find nothing. Not just a little bit of nothing, but an emptiness so vast, so unexplainable, that it defies everything we think we know about the universe. This isn't just any empty patch of sky. This is the Boötes Void, one of the largest, most mysterious voids in the cosmos. A place so barren that some scientists have even questioned whether it's a glitch in our understanding of reality itself. But how can something like this even exist? Space is supposed to be full of galaxies, right? After all, the universe is a chaotic, ever-expanding ocean of stars, dust, and cosmic activity. Yet here we are, staring at a cosmic desert, 250 million light-years wide, where there should be tens of thousands of galaxies, but there are almost none. Scientists call it a supervoid. But that word doesn't even do justice to how unsettling this region is. Some have even speculated that it might be evidence of something far more bizarre, something beyond what we're even capable of understanding. The Boötes Void was first discovered in 1981 by astronomers Robert Kirshner and his team, who were mapping galaxies across the universe. At first, they thought there must be some mistake. Maybe their data was incomplete. Maybe their instruments had missed something. But no, the void was real. And the more they studied it, the more disturbing it became. Because space isn't supposed to be like this. The universe follows a structure. Galaxies cluster together, forming vast webs of cosmic matter, stretching across billions of light-years. But the Boötes Void? It breaks the rules. It doesn't fit. It's an anomaly. And no one can fully explain why it's there. To put its size into perspective, if the Milky Way galaxy were inside the Boötes Void, we would be completely alone. No neighboring galaxies. No clusters. Just an endless, dark void stretching in all directions. It's as if something wiped the slate clean, a region of the universe where reality itself took a step back and simply left nothing behind. The question is, how did this happen? Was it a natural occurrence? A freak accident in the structure of the cosmos? Or is there something stranger at play, something we haven't even begun to comprehend? One of the most mind-bending theories about the Boötes Void is that it might be the result of a collision between universes. Some physicists believe in the multiverse theory, the idea that our universe is just one of many, each with its own unique properties. What if, at some point in the distant past, another universe brushed up against ours, erasing everything in its path? A sort of cosmic scar left behind by a catastrophic event beyond our understanding. It sounds like science fiction, but when you're dealing with something as strange as the Boötes Void, no theory is off the table. But if that's too far-fetched, let's look at the more conventional explanations, though even these are unsettling in their own right. Some astronomers believe that the void was carved out over billions of years by the movement of dark energy, the mysterious force that's pushing the universe apart. Others suggest that it might have been caused by the merging of smaller voids, forming one massive empty region over time. But even these ideas don't fully explain why it's so unusually empty. To make things even weirder, there are a few galaxies inside the Boötes Void, just not nearly as many as there should be. And these galaxies? They aren't like normal galaxies. Some of them seem to be forming in isolation, separated from the cosmic web that connects most galaxies in the universe. Imagine growing up in an empty world, with no neighboring cities, no connections, no history, just an island floating in a vast, dark ocean. That's what these galaxies are like. And the fact that they exist at all inside the void raises even more questions. Some researchers have proposed that these galaxies are survivors, remnants of what was once a bustling region of space, now abandoned for reasons we can't yet understand. Could an ancient cosmic event have wiped out everything around them, leaving only a few galaxies behind? If so, what could possibly cause such destruction on a scale this massive? The answer is still unknown. And then there are the even wilder theories. Some people have suggested that the Boötes Void isn't a natural void at all, but something artificial, perhaps even evidence of advanced extraterrestrial activity. Think about it. If an extremely advanced civilization had the power to manipulate matter on a cosmic scale, they could theoretically clear out entire regions of space for unknown purposes. Maybe they needed resources. Maybe they were creating a massive structure beyond our comprehension. Or maybe they wanted to remain hidden. It's a theory with no evidence to back it up, but when you're looking at something as baffling as the Boötes Void, even the craziest ideas start to feel possible. So what does the existence of the Boötes Void mean for our understanding of the universe? It challenges the way we think about cosmic structure, dark matter, and the fundamental rules that govern reality. It raises questions about how galaxies form, why the universe looks the way it does, and whether there are other voids out there that are even larger and stranger than this one. And here's the thing, scientists are still searching for answers. Despite decades of study, we still don't fully understand why this vast emptiness exists. The Boötes Void is a mystery that reminds us just how little we actually know about the universe. Every time we think we have space figured out, something like this appears and throws everything into question. It's a reminder that, no matter how much we discover, the cosmos will always hold secrets that defy explanation. But the Boötes Void is just one of many cosmic mysteries. Space is full of anomalies, things that shouldn't exist, but somehow do. From rogue planets drifting through the void to bizarre signals from deep space that we can't quite decipher, the universe is a puzzle that keeps getting more complex the more we study it. And the Boötes Void? It's one of the biggest pieces of that puzzle, an unsettling, impossible void that challenges everything we thought we knew. So what's the truth behind the Boötes Void? Is it just a strange quirk of the universe? A relic of some ancient cosmic catastrophe? Or something far more mysterious? We may never know for sure. But one thing's certain, this is one of the most haunting, unexplained regions in all of space. And the more we learn about it, the more questions it raises. The Boötes Void isn't just a weird empty spot in space. It's an anomaly that shakes the very foundation of how we understand the universe. If we go by what astronomers expect, a region this large should contain at least 10,000 galaxies. Instead, we barely find a handful. That's not a small discrepancy. That's an absurd, almost unbelievable difference. The universe isn't just randomly scattered with galaxies. There's a structure to it. Matter tends to cluster together, forming vast filaments and walls of galaxies connected like a giant web stretching across the cosmos. But the Boötes Void? It's like a missing puzzle piece, an empty gap in the grand structure of reality itself. To understand why this is so strange, let's take a step back and look at how galaxies are distributed in space. If you zoom out far enough, the universe doesn't look random at all. It looks like a vast network, a cosmic web, made up of filaments, walls, and voids. These filaments are where galaxies form, pulling together under gravity, creating clusters, superclusters, and massive structures that stretch for billions of light years. But between these filaments are gaps, voids where there are fewer galaxies. These voids aren't entirely empty, but they have significantly less matter compared to the surrounding regions. The Boötes Void, however, isn't just a regular void. It's something else entirely. Most voids in space are a few tens of millions of light years across, but the Boötes Void is over 250 million light years wide. That's over 330 times larger than our own galaxy, the Milky Way. If you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 250 million years to cross from one side to the other. And in all that space? Almost nothing. Imagine standing in the middle of an endless desert, looking in every direction, and seeing nothing but emptiness. No signs of life, no landmarks, just pure isolation. That's what makes the Boötes Void so unsettling. The few galaxies that do exist inside it seem like cosmic orphans, stranded in a place where they don't belong. They exist in a kind of cosmic loneliness, separated from the great galactic highways that most galaxies travel along. These galaxies are so far apart from each other that if an intelligent civilization were to evolve inside one of them, it might never even realize that other galaxies exist. They would look into the night sky and see nothing, no clusters, no neighbors, no hints that the universe is full of life and structure. Just endless darkness. And that leads us to a mind-boggling question: what if we had been born inside the Boötes Void? What if humanity had evolved in one of those isolated galaxies instead of in the Milky Way? If that were the case, our view of the universe would be completely different. Instead of discovering that we live in a vast, expanding cosmos full of galaxies, we might have assumed that our own galaxy was the only one in existence. We might have never even considered the possibility of other galaxies, simply because we wouldn't be able to see them. Our entire understanding of space, physics, and reality itself would be limited by our location. But this raises another disturbing possibility. What if there are civilizations trapped inside the Boötes Void right now? If an intelligent species developed inside one of the few galaxies in this void, they might never be able to detect the existence of the larger universe. They might not know that there's anything beyond their isolated pocket of space. And if that's true, then we might be in a similar situation without even realizing it. What if our own universe is just a small island in an even greater cosmic void? The implications of the Boötes Void go beyond just astronomy. They touch on the nature of reality itself. Some physicists have proposed that the existence of such an extreme void might hint at unknown physics, forces at play that we don't yet understand. There's even a possibility that the void isn't just empty space, but something much stranger. Some scientists have speculated that voids like this could be evidence of cosmic expansion happening unevenly, suggesting that dark energy, the mysterious force driving the acceleration of the universe, might not be as uniform as we think. Others have proposed even wilder ideas, including the possibility that the Boötes Void could be a scar left behind by something truly massive, like a collision between different regions of spacetime itself. If the early universe underwent strange phase transitions, similar to how water turns to ice, then it's possible that the void is the remnant of an ancient, universe-altering event, one that erased everything in its path, leaving behind a massive, unexplained absence. And then there's the idea that keeps resurfacing in discussions about space mysteries. What if the Boötes Void is artificial? Could it be possible that an advanced civilization, one far beyond our own level of technology, somehow created it? Some scientists have entertained the notion that if a civilization had the capability to manipulate matter on an unimaginable scale, they could theoretically clear out a region of space for some unknown purpose. Maybe it was a failed experiment. Maybe it was an intentional act to create a perfect void, free from cosmic noise. Or maybe, just maybe, it was a way to hide something so advanced that it needed an entire void to remain undetectable. While this idea might sound like science fiction, it's worth considering just how little we actually know about the nature of advanced civilizations. If intelligent life is common in the universe, then it's possible that some civilizations have reached a point where their technology is so advanced that it's indistinguishable from the fundamental forces of the cosmos itself. If that's the case, then our attempts to explain anomalies like the Boötes Void using our current understanding of physics might be like an ant trying to understand a skyscraper. And yet, despite all the theories, despite all the speculation, we are still left with one undeniable fact. The Boötes Void exists, and we don't fully understand why. It is a gap in our knowledge, a missing piece in the puzzle of the cosmos. And that's what makes it so fascinating. Because space, as vast and infinite as it seems, is still full of mysteries that challenge everything we think we know. The more we look at the universe, the more we realize just how little we understand. Every discovery raises more questions than it answers. And the Boötes Void? It's a reminder that, even in the age of advanced telescopes and deep space exploration, there are still places in the cosmos that defy explanation. Maybe one day, we'll finally understand why this vast emptiness exists. But until then, it remains one of the greatest space mysteries ever discovered, a void that stares back at us, daring us to find answers. The Boötes Void remains one of the most baffling discoveries in modern astronomy, and the deeper we look into it, the more unsettling it becomes. The sheer size of this cosmic emptiness challenges our understanding of how galaxies form and how matter is distributed throughout the universe. But what if the void isn't just an accident of cosmic evolution? What if something more profound, something beyond our current scientific models, is responsible for its existence? One of the more speculative ideas that scientists and theorists have entertained is the possibility that the Boötes Void could be the result of a past event that altered the fabric of space itself. Some have suggested that this immense emptiness could have been carved out by an unknown cosmic force, perhaps an ancient collision between two separate regions of the universe. Others speculate that the void might be evidence of a previous phase transition in the universe's history, where different states of matter or energy shifted, leaving behind this strange, galaxy-deprived region. But there's an even more unsettling hypothesis. What if the Boötes Void is actually growing? Most voids in the universe are thought to slowly expand over time as gravity pulls matter into denser regions, leaving empty areas behind. If this is happening on a larger scale in the Boötes Void, it could mean that the void isn't just a passive empty space but an active, dynamic phenomenon. Could we be witnessing a kind of cosmic erosion, where vast stretches of matter are being displaced or consumed by an unknown force? The concept of void expansion isn't entirely outside the realm of known physics. We already know that the universe itself is expanding at an accelerating rate due to dark energy. If the Boötes Void is growing at a rate faster than normal cosmic expansion, then it might suggest the presence of something we don't yet understand. Perhaps a localized effect of dark energy that is more concentrated in this region. This leads to yet another strange question. What if there were once more galaxies inside the Boötes Void, but something happened to them? The idea of galaxies vanishing sounds like science fiction, but in the vast timeline of the universe, cosmic-scale events occur that we may not yet comprehend. Could this void be a remnant of something catastrophic that once took place? A force powerful enough to erase entire galaxies from existence? If we entertain the notion that the Boötes Void is not just a coincidence but a result of some past event, it begs the question, what kind of event could have left behind such an extreme void? One possibility that has been proposed is that an enormous supervoid was created by the merging of several smaller voids. In this scenario, the Boötes Void might have originally been multiple smaller empty spaces that gradually merged over billions of years. But if that were the case, why does it appear so unusually empty, with only a handful of galaxies scattered throughout? There's also another eerie thought. What if the Boötes Void is the first sign of something much larger happening on a universal scale? Some physicists have speculated that the universe could undergo massive structural changes over time, possibly even leading to an event where entire regions of space become uninhabitable. This could be tied to the mysterious nature of dark energy, the force that is causing the expansion of the universe to accelerate. If dark energy behaves differently in certain regions, then it's possible that the Boötes Void is a glimpse into a future where entire sections of the universe become vast, lifeless expanses. But there's an even more mind-bending idea that refuses to go away. The possibility that the Boötes Void is artificial. When we think about space, we tend to assume that everything we see is the result of natural processes. Galaxies form, stars burn out, black holes consume matter. It all follows the rules of physics as we understand them. But what if something, or someone, had the ability to manipulate these cosmic structures on an unimaginable scale? The idea of a Kardashev Type 3 civilization, a hypothetical extraterrestrial species capable of harnessing energy on the scale of an entire galaxy, has often been brought up when discussing strange cosmic anomalies. If such a civilization existed, what would it be capable of? Could it have engineered the Boötes Void for some unknown purpose? Some have speculated that an advanced civilization could theoretically clear out a massive region of space to build a structure beyond anything we could comprehend. Perhaps a megastructure large enough to affect entire galaxies. While there's no direct evidence to suggest that the Boötes Void is artificial, the very fact that it defies conventional explanation leaves the door open to such possibilities. What if the void was created as a testing ground for some unimaginable technology? Or what if it's the remnants of a cosmic-scale war, where an ancient civilization obliterated everything in its path, leaving behind only emptiness? One of the strangest ideas put forward is that the Boötes Void could be a kind of cosmic quarantine zone. If an advanced civilization had reason to isolate a particular region of space, whether to contain something dangerous or to protect the rest of the universe from an unknown force, it might look something like what we see in the Boötes Void. But if that were the case, what exactly would be hidden inside such a region? The fact that the void contains a few scattered galaxies suggests that it isn't completely empty. But what if those galaxies are remnants of something much larger? If there were once more galaxies inside this void, could they have been stripped away by an event beyond our understanding? If so, what happened to them? Were they destroyed? Relocated? Or was something else at work? Even more chilling is the idea that the void could be hiding something that we simply can't detect. Our understanding of the universe is based on the information we can observe: light, radiation, and other forms of energy. But what if there's something inside the Boötes Void that doesn't emit any of these signals? What if an advanced civilization had the ability to cloak entire regions of space from detection, making them appear as nothing more than empty voids? The Boötes Void remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in the cosmos. It's a puzzle that continues to defy explanation, challenging our understanding of the structure of the universe. Whether it is simply an extreme case of natural cosmic evolution or something more, it forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge. And as our technology improves, as we build better telescopes and probe deeper into the universe, we may finally uncover the true nature of this enormous cosmic emptiness. But for now, the Boötes Void remains a question without an answer. It is a silence in the vast symphony of the universe, a gap in the cosmic web that hints at something beyond our comprehension. And perhaps, one day, we will look back at this mystery and realize that the answer was there all along, waiting for us to see it. The Boötes Void is more than just a vast expanse of emptiness. It's a direct challenge to everything we think we know about the universe. In a cosmos filled with galaxies, stars, and planets, the very existence of such an enormous region with almost nothing inside it raises disturbing questions. Is it just an anomaly, an accident of cosmic evolution? Or is there something far more mysterious at play? To understand just how strange the Boötes Void is, let's compare it to what we would expect in a normal region of space. The observable universe contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies, spread out in a vast cosmic web of filaments and clusters. In most parts of the universe, galaxies are not evenly distributed, but they still follow certain patterns. There are dense clusters of galaxies, areas of lower density, and even some smaller voids where galaxies are scarce. But nothing comes close to the sheer scale of the Boötes Void. If the universe were scaled down to the size of a city, galaxies would be like buildings and streets, forming intricate patterns of connected structures. But the Boötes Void would be like an entire district where no buildings exist, just an open expanse, with a few scattered islands of civilization floating in the vast nothingness. It's so large that if Earth were at its center, we wouldn't have known that other galaxies even existed until modern telescopes were developed. But how did such a void form? The most accepted explanation is that voids are created as part of the natural evolution of the universe. Over time, gravity pulls matter into denser regions, forming galaxies and clusters, while leaving behind empty spaces. However, the Boötes Void is so large that its existence is hard to explain with this process alone. It's as if something actively cleared out an enormous region of space. One of the most mind-bending theories is that the Boötes Void could be a remnant of an ancient cosmic event, something so large and so powerful that it reshaped the structure of the universe itself. Some scientists have speculated that voids like this could be evidence of early phase transitions, moments in the universe's past when fundamental forces or states of matter shifted, leaving behind scars in the fabric of space. Another possibility is that the void was created by a merger of smaller voids. Over billions of years, tiny pockets of emptiness could have combined into a single, massive super-void. But even if that's true, it doesn't explain why the Boötes Void is so incredibly empty. Most voids contain a significant number of small galaxies, but the Boötes Void has almost nothing inside it. It's as if something swept through the region and removed everything. And this leads to an even stranger thought: what if the void is still growing? We know that the universe itself is expanding, but if the Boötes Void is expanding at a rate faster than normal cosmic expansion, it would mean that something unusual is happening in this region of space. Some have suggested that dark energy, The mysterious force driving the acceleration of the universe's expansion could be behaving differently inside the void. If that's true, it could mean that the Boötes Void isn't just an empty region, it's an active phenomenon. It could be a place where the rules of the universe are different, where space itself behaves in ways we don't yet understand. And if that's the case, what would happen if the void continued to grow? Could it eventually consume other galaxies, expanding like a kind of cosmic sinkhole? But there's one more idea that's even more unsettling: the possibility that the Boötes Void is artificial. We tend to assume that everything in the universe is the result of natural processes. Galaxies form, stars burn out, black holes consume matter. It all follows the laws of physics. But what if an advanced civilization had the ability to manipulate space on an unimaginable scale? Some scientists have speculated about the existence of Catastrophic Type 3 civilizations, societies so advanced that they could harness the energy of entire galaxies. If such a civilization existed, what would it be capable of? Could it have created the Boötes Void for some unknown purpose? Some theories suggest that an advanced civilization might deliberately clear out a region of space, either to create an enormous structure or to perform experiments on a cosmic scale. What if the Boötes Void is a kind of cosmic construction site, an area where something beyond our comprehension is being built? Or what if it's the aftermath of a civilization that once existed but was somehow erased? If a war or a disaster on a galactic scale occurred in this region, could it have wiped out everything, leaving behind nothing but emptiness? Another chilling idea is that the void could be a kind of quarantine zone. If an advanced civilization discovered something dangerous, something that posed a threat to the rest of the universe, they might have found a way to isolate it inside an empty region of space. If that's the case, what could be hidden inside the void? Could there be something lurking in the darkness, something that doesn't emit light, making it invisible to our telescopes? There's even the possibility that the Boötes Void could be hiding entire civilizations that are using technology far beyond anything we can imagine. Some scientists have speculated that an advanced species might develop ways to hide from detection, creating cloak structures or even entire planets that don't emit any visible signals. If that's the case, could there be something inside the void that we simply haven't been able to see? The Boötes Void is one of the most perplexing mysteries in the universe. It stands as a challenge to everything we think we understand about cosmic structures, galaxy formation, and even the nature of space itself. Whether it's a natural anomaly or evidence of something beyond our comprehension, it forces us to question the very nature of the cosmos. As our telescopes become more advanced, as we probe deeper into the universe, we may one day uncover the truth about this massive, empty region. But for now, the Boötes Void remains one of the most unsettling enigmas of the cosmos, a silent, gaping hole in the structure of reality, daring us to figure out what it really is. The Boötes Void is not just an empty spot in the universe, it is a cosmic paradox that defies our understanding of how galaxies are distributed. The more we study it, the more unsettling it becomes. Space is not supposed to have gaps this large. Gravity pulls matter together, forming galaxies, clusters, and superclusters, all connected by vast filaments of gas and dark matter. Voids do exist, but none compare to the sheer emptiness of the Boötes Void. To put its size into perspective, consider this: the Boötes Void is roughly 330 million light-years in diameter. That's over 1,000 times the distance between our Milky Way and its closest neighboring galaxy, Andromeda. If our solar system were placed at the center of this void, it would take hundreds of millions of years for light to reach the nearest galaxy. From our perspective, it would be as if we were completely alone in an endless black abyss. But the real question is, how did it form? If the Boötes Void is simply the result of gravitational forces acting over billions of years, why is it so much larger than other voids? The best models of cosmic evolution suggest that voids should not grow to this scale naturally. The standard explanation is that over time, matter was drawn away from this region and into denser areas, forming the vast web of galaxies we see today. But that doesn't fully account for the extreme emptiness of the Boötes Void. One idea is that the void might not have always been empty. Perhaps billions of years ago, This region was home to a vast collection of galaxies that, for some unknown reason, were either destroyed or somehow moved away. But what could cause something like that? Some have suggested that interactions with dark energy, one of the great unknown forces in physics, could be responsible. If dark energy behaves differently inside the void, it could have pushed matter out of the region, leaving behind a vast emptiness. Another possibility is that the Boötes Void is actually evidence of something even more mind-bending, an alternate universe interacting with our own. Some theories of cosmology suggest that our universe is just one of many, separated by invisible boundaries. If another universe with different physical laws came into contact with ours, the interaction could have created an area of extreme emptiness, where galaxies simply could not form. Then there's the idea that the Boötes Void could be the result of a cosmic catastrophe on an unimaginable scale. Some researchers have speculated that powerful forces, perhaps even ancient black hole mergers or energy-destroying phenomena, could have wiped out entire galaxies in this region. If that were true, it would mean that something happened here that left no trace, no detectable radiation, and no evidence other than an eerie, vast emptiness. And then there's the most unsettling thought of all: what if the void is artificial? It's an idea that seems impossible at first. How could something on this scale be created? But if we entertain the possibility of an advanced civilization with technology beyond anything we can imagine, it raises the question: why would they do it? One of the most extreme ideas is that an advanced civilization might have the capability to manipulate entire galaxies, either by dismantling them for energy, or by relocating them for some unknown purpose. A Type 3 civilization on the Catastrophic scale, one that has mastered the energy of an entire galaxy, could theoretically move stars and planets. Could the Boötes Void be evidence that someone, or something, was here before us, reshaping the universe to suit their needs? Another possibility is that the void is a kind of warning, a scar in the universe left behind by something we do not yet understand. Some have even suggested that the void could be a containment zone, an area where something incredibly dangerous was either sealed away or removed from existence entirely. The lack of galaxies in the Boötes Void is disturbing, but what's even stranger is the handful of galaxies that do exist within it. Scattered inside this vast emptiness are a few isolated galaxies, floating like lonely islands in an endless cosmic ocean. Their presence is bizarre. If galaxies formed elsewhere and then moved into the void, they should be accompanied by others. If they formed inside the void itself, it raises the question of why more galaxies didn't do the same. Some researchers believe that the galaxies inside the void could be remnants, survivors of whatever event created the vast emptiness. If that's true, studying them could give us clues about what happened here billions of years ago. But so far, they don't appear to be particularly unusual. They are normal galaxies, following the same physical laws as any others. And yet, they exist in a place where they shouldn't. The Boötes Void is a riddle with no easy answers. It challenges our understanding of cosmic evolution, dark energy, and the very structure of the universe. Whether it is a natural anomaly, a remnant of some ancient event, or even evidence of something beyond our comprehension, it remains one of the greatest mysteries of space. As our technology improves, future telescopes and deep space surveys may uncover more about what lies in the void. But for now, it stands as one of the most eerie and perplexing places in the cosmos. A reminder that, even with all our knowledge, the universe still holds secrets that defy explanation. The Boötes Void is often described as a hole in the universe, but that doesn't fully capture the sheer scale of what we're dealing with. It's not just a region with fewer galaxies, it is an almost incomprehensibly large expanse of nothingness, a place where the very fabric of the cosmic web seems to have been erased. Even in the vast emptiness of space, we expect to find some structure, some faint remnants of matter, but the Boötes Void appears to be a violation of those expectations. To understand just how unusual this void is, we have to compare it to other known cosmic voids. Voids are a natural part of the large-scale structure of the universe. They form as matter gets pulled into dense regions, leaving behind less populated areas. Most voids, however, are only tens of millions of light-years across and still contain numerous dwarf galaxies, gas clouds, and dark matter. The Boötes Void, on the other hand, is hundreds of millions of light-years across, and it is almost completely barren. If the universe were a city, most voids would be like empty lots between skyscrapers. The Boötes Void, however, would be a vast desert with a handful of scattered buildings in the distance. This emptiness is so extreme that it raises questions about how the universe itself evolved. The standard model of cosmology suggests that structures in the universe formed through gravitational attraction over billions of years. Galaxies, clusters, and superclusters emerged as matter clumped together, leaving behind the less dense voids. But for the Boötes Void to exist, something unusual must have happened. Either this region was always empty, or something actively removed matter from it. One of the strangest things about the Boötes Void is that it wasn't discovered until 1981. Given its massive size, you might assume that astronomers would have noticed it earlier. After all, we can see distant galaxies billions of light years away, so why did it take so long to find an area that contains almost nothing? The answer is surprisingly simple: nobody was looking for it. Astronomers tend to focus their studies on regions rich in galaxies, stars, and cosmic structures. It wasn't until researchers began mapping the large-scale distribution of galaxies that they noticed the massive empty region in Boötes. But even once it was discovered, the implications were difficult to grasp. At first, some scientists believed that the void might not be as empty as it seemed. Perhaps it was simply a region where galaxies were too faint to see, or where light was being obscured by intervening matter. However, further observations confirmed that the Boötes Void is genuinely one of the largest and emptiest spaces in the known universe. One of the most controversial theories about the Boötes Void is that it could be the result of an ancient cosmic event, something that altered the structure of the universe itself. Some have speculated that the void might be the scar of a massive collision between cosmic structures in the early universe. If two large-scale structures, such as galaxy superclusters, interacted billions of years ago, they might have expelled matter from this region, creating an immense void. Another hypothesis suggests that the Boötes Void could be related to dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. Dark energy is not well understood, but it appears to act in opposition to gravity, pushing galaxies apart. If dark energy behaves differently in some regions of the universe, it could have created a repelling effect in the Boötes Void, preventing galaxies from forming there. Some researchers have even speculated that the Boötes Void could be linked to an ancient black hole merger on a massive scale. In this scenario, an extraordinarily powerful gravitational event, perhaps the merger of multiple supermassive black holes, could have altered the distribution of matter in this region, effectively clearing out the void over billions of years. However, this idea remains speculative, as no direct evidence of such an event has been found. But what if the void is not a natural phenomenon at all? Some have proposed a more unsettling idea, that the Boötes Void could be the result of advanced extraterrestrial activity. If a civilization reached an extremely high level of technological advancement, it might have the ability to manipulate entire galaxies. This could mean dismantling stars for energy, moving celestial bodies, or even creating artificial voids for unknown purposes. This concept ties into the idea of a Type 3 civilization on the Catastrophic scale, a civilization so advanced that it can harness the energy of entire galaxies. If such a civilization existed, they might be capable of altering the large-scale structure of the universe itself. But if this were the case, it raises an even bigger question: why would they do it? What purpose could such an immense void serve? One theory suggests that an advanced civilization might create voids as observational barriers. In other words, they might remove matter from certain regions to prevent less advanced civilizations from detecting their activities. This would effectively make them invisible on a cosmic scale, shielding their presence from outside observers. Another possibility is that voids like Boötes could be remnants of intergalactic engineering projects. If a civilization had the ability to move galaxies, they might have relocated them for resource harvesting, colonization, or even aesthetic purposes. In this scenario, the Boötes Void could be the abandoned remains of a once populated region, stripped of its galaxies and left as an empty scar in space. Of course, these ideas remain purely speculative. There is no concrete evidence to suggest that the Boötes Void was artificially created. However, the mere fact that such possibilities can be considered highlights how mysterious this region truly is. Despite all of our advancements in astronomy, we still have no definitive explanation for why the Boötes Void is so empty. Every theory, whether it involves cosmic evolution, dark energy, black hole interactions, or even alien megastructures, has gaps that remain unresolved. As technology continues to improve, future observations may provide new insights into this vast cosmic enigma. Next-generation telescopes, capable of detecting faint objects and mapping the large-scale structure of the universe with unprecedented detail, may uncover new clues about the nature of the void. Perhaps we will find hidden structures within it, or maybe we will confirm that it is truly one of the emptiest regions in existence. For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the most unsettling mysteries in space. It is a place where the usual rules of cosmic structure seem to break down, a vast and silent abyss that challenges our understanding of the universe. Whether it is a natural anomaly, the result of unknown physics, or even a sign of something more extraordinary, the void continues to be a source of endless fascination and speculation. But as we peer deeper into the cosmos, one thing becomes clear: the universe is far stranger than we ever imagined, and the Boötes Void is just one of the many unsolved puzzles waiting for answers. The Boötes Void stands as a stark reminder of how little we truly understand about the large-scale structure of the universe. This vast region, stretching nearly 330 million light-years across, is so empty that if the Milky Way were placed at its center, we would have to travel hundreds of millions of light-years in any direction before encountering another significant galaxy. That kind of desolation is difficult to comprehend because, in nearly every other part of the universe, galaxies are packed together in a complex web of filaments, clusters, and superclusters. But here, in the heart of the Boötes Void, the cosmos seems eerily quiet. One of the most baffling aspects of the void is that it contains far fewer galaxies than expected. Given its size, cosmologists estimate that there should be around 10,000 galaxies inside it, based on the average distribution of galaxies throughout the universe. Yet, astronomers have only been able to identify a few dozen. This raises a crucial question: where did the missing galaxies go? Were they ever there in the first place? And if not, why did this region fail to form structures like the rest of the universe? One explanation, as mentioned earlier, is that the Boötes Void could be the result of a large-scale structure collision in the early universe. This would mean that when the first galaxies were forming, something, perhaps a massive cosmic shockwave or gravitational event, swept through this region, disrupting normal galaxy formation. If this were true, the void could be a kind of scar left over from an ancient event that permanently altered its composition. Another possibility is that the void formed due to an unusually strong repulsive effect from dark energy. Dark energy is one of the biggest mysteries in physics, an unseen force that appears to be driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. If dark energy behaved differently in certain regions of space, it could have pushed matter away from the Boötes Void early in the universe's history, leaving behind a nearly empty expanse. This theory is difficult to test, but if dark energy is not uniform across the cosmos, it could help explain why some voids, like Boötes, are much larger and emptier than others. The sheer size of the Boötes Void also challenges our understanding of how cosmic structures evolved. According to our best models of the universe, matter should have clumped together over billions of years due to gravitational attraction, leading to the formation of galaxies, clusters, and superclusters. While some voids are expected as a natural consequence of this process, none should be as large as the Boötes Void. If our models are correct, then the void should contain far more galaxies than it does. But since it doesn't, we have to ask, are our models missing something fundamental? Some astronomers have suggested that the Boötes Void may actually be a combination of several smaller voids that merged over time. In this view, instead of being a single vast empty region, the void may have started as a collection of moderately empty areas that gradually expanded and combined into the massive structure we see today. If true, this would imply that voids can evolve and grow, much like galaxies and superclusters do, but in a very different way. Instead of accumulating matter, they repel it, growing larger as the surrounding universe continues to expand. Yet, even if this were the case, it still wouldn't explain why the Boötes Void is so much emptier than similar voids. Most cosmic voids, while sparsely populated, still contain a reasonable number of small galaxies, intergalactic gas, and dark matter. But in the Boötes Void, even these structures seem to be missing. This suggests that something more extreme happened here, either an event that wiped out entire galaxies or a process that prevented them from forming in the first place. This has led some to wonder if there could be an exotic explanation, something beyond our current understanding of physics. One such idea is that the Boötes Void might be the remnant of a cosmic bubble, an unusual fluctuation in the early universe where matter simply failed to condense the way it did elsewhere. If the early universe contained regions with slightly different densities, some areas might have evolved in a radically different way, leaving behind voids that are far emptier than expected. This would mean that the void is not just an absence of matter, but a fundamentally different type of space, one where the rules of cosmic evolution played out in an unusual way. But what if the Boötes Void is something even stranger? Some have speculated that it could be a remnant of a parallel universe collision. According to certain theories in cosmology, our universe may be just one of many in a vast multiverse. If another universe once existed near ours, and the two somehow interacted, it's possible that the Boötes Void represents the scar of that interaction. In this scenario, a bubble universe could have collided with ours early in cosmic history, wiping out matter in this region or preventing galaxies from forming there. Of course, there is no direct evidence for this idea, but it does highlight just how mysterious the Boötes Void truly is. When faced with something this unusual, scientists have to consider all possibilities, even ones that seem far-fetched. Then there's the most controversial idea of all, the possibility that the Boötes Void could be the result of artificial activity. If an advanced civilization existed on a scale far beyond anything we can imagine, they might have the capability to manipulate entire galaxies. Some have speculated that an ultra-advanced civilization could have removed galaxies from this region for unknown reasons, perhaps harvesting them for energy, or creating an artificial barrier in space. This idea is based on the concept of a Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale, which measures how advanced a civilization is based on its ability to harness energy. A Type 3 civilization would be capable of using the energy of entire galaxies, possibly even rearranging the structure of the cosmos itself. If such a civilization existed, we might expect to see large-scale anomalies in the universe, regions where matter has been deliberately moved or altered. Could the Boötes Void be one of these anomalies? While there is no evidence for this theory, it does make for an unsettling thought. If an advanced civilization had the ability to reshape entire sections of the universe, what would that mean for us? Would they be watching us? Would we even be capable of understanding their motives? Or is the Boötes Void simply a natural feature of the cosmos, a strange but ultimately explainable part of the universe's evolution? Whatever the answer, the Boötes Void remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of space. It challenges our understanding of how galaxies form, how matter is distributed, and whether the universe itself holds secrets that we have yet to uncover. Even as astronomers continue to study this vast and empty region, it serves as a reminder of how much we still don't know. In a universe filled with billions of galaxies, there are still places so empty that they defy explanation. And as we look deeper into space, who knows what other mysteries might be waiting for us? The more we study the Boötes Void, the more unsettling it becomes. Unlike other cosmic voids, which are typically irregularly shaped and contain small, faint galaxies, the Boötes Void is almost eerily spherical and strikingly empty. This is significant because it suggests that whatever process created it must have been incredibly uniform and widespread, affecting a vast region of space in a nearly symmetrical way. This level of emptiness is not something that can be easily explained by standard cosmological models. One of the more perplexing aspects of the Boötes Void is how it challenges the idea that matter in the universe is evenly distributed on large scales. According to the standard model of cosmology, matter is arranged in a vast cosmic web, with galaxies and clusters forming along filaments, and massive voids forming in the spaces between them. These voids are expected to exist, but they should be filled with at least some amount of faint galaxies, gas, or dark matter. The Boötes Void, however, is so empty that it raises serious questions about whether our understanding of cosmic evolution is complete. In fact, some astronomers believe that the Boötes Void is so anomalous that it might indicate a fundamental flaw in our models of the universe. If the standard model were correct, voids of this size and level of emptiness should be incredibly rare, so rare that we shouldn't expect to find one in our observable universe. Yet here it is. This has led some to propose alternative theories that might better explain why a void like this exists. One idea is that the Boötes Void might be evidence of an early phase transition in the universe. In physics, phase transitions occur when a system changes from one state to another, such as water freezing into ice or boiling into steam. Some theorists have suggested that in the early universe, there may have been a transition in the nature of dark energy, or dark matter that caused certain regions of space to behave differently. If the Boötes Void is the result of such a transition, it could mean that its properties are fundamentally different from the rest of the universe, making it an incredibly rare and valuable laboratory for studying the nature of cosmic evolution. Another possibility is that the void is the result of an ancient gravitational anomaly. Some researchers speculate that during the early formation of the universe, an exceptionally strong gravitational force in the surrounding regions may have pulled all the matter away from the Boötes Void, leaving it empty. If this were true, it could mean that the void was shaped by a unique set of initial conditions that prevented galaxy formation there. However, this theory struggles to explain why no other voids of similar size have been found, making it a less satisfying explanation. Perhaps one of the most radical ideas is that the Boötes Void could be a relic of a cosmic bubble collision, a scenario in which our universe interacted with another universe in the distant past. Some versions of the multiverse theory suggest that multiple universes can form through cosmic inflation, the rapid expansion that occurred right after the Big Bang. If two of these bubble universes collided, the impact could have left a visible imprint on our own universe. The Boötes Void, with its mysterious emptiness and nearly perfect spherical shape, could be such an imprint. If true, this would provide direct evidence that our universe is not alone but part of a much larger multiverse. Of course, testing such a theory is nearly impossible with our current technology. We can observe the void and map its structure, but without direct evidence of another universe, this idea remains purely speculative. Still, the very fact that such an explanation is even considered speaks to how strange and unexplained the Boötes Void truly is. But let's step back for a moment and consider the implications of what an enormous empty space like this means for the future of our universe. As the universe continues to expand, voids like the Boötes Void are expected to grow larger. Matter is being pushed farther apart due to dark energy, meaning that over billions of years, galaxies will become more isolated, and cosmic voids will become even emptier. If the Boötes Void is already nearly devoid of galaxies, in the far future, it may become an even more lifeless expanse, completely cut off from the rest of the universe. This brings up an eerie possibility. Could the Boötes Void be a preview of what the distant future of the universe looks like? Some physicists believe that as the universe expands and matter becomes increasingly scattered, all galaxies will eventually find themselves inside voids, separated from one another by unimaginable distances. If this happens, the universe will become a cold, dark, and empty place, a far cry from the vibrant cosmos we see today. In this sense, the Boötes Void could be a glimpse into the long-term fate of the universe. It's a place where the forces of cosmic expansion have already won, where matter has already been pushed away, and where time seems to stand still in an eternal state of emptiness. Yet, even in its emptiness, the Boötes Void remains one of the most fascinating and perplexing regions in the cosmos. It defies easy explanation, challenges our understanding of cosmic evolution, and forces us to confront the possibility that the universe may be far stranger than we ever imagined. Whether it's the result of an ancient gravitational disturbance, a relic of an early cosmic phase transition, or even a scar from a collision with another universe, One thing is clear: the Boötes Void is not just an empty space. It is a mystery, one that continues to captivate astronomers and challenge the very foundations of our understanding of the cosmos. The Boötes Void is not just an astronomical curiosity, it is a direct challenge to our understanding of how the universe is structured. When astronomers look at the large-scale distribution of galaxies, they expect to see a cosmic web, a network of galaxies forming long, thread-like filaments and massive clusters. These structures are separated by voids, but none of these voids compare to the sheer emptiness of the Boötes Void. Its existence forces astronomers to reconsider the assumptions about how galaxies form and evolve. If gravity is the dominant force shaping the cosmos, then how did such a vast region of space remain so empty? Matter should naturally collapse into structures over time, forming galaxies, clusters, and filaments. Yet, for some reason, the Boötes Void avoided this fate. One explanation could be that the void formed through a process of galactic evacuation. This theory suggests that galaxies once existed in this region but were gravitationally pulled away by nearby superclusters over billions of years. However, this idea has a major flaw. There is no evidence that such a dramatic migration of galaxies has ever occurred on this scale. Additionally, even if some galaxies were pulled away, we would still expect to see faint remnants of smaller galaxies. But the Boötes Void is overwhelmingly empty. Another possibility is that the void formed very early in the history of the universe, before the first galaxies took shape. If this were true, it could mean that the Boötes Void is a primordial feature, a remnant of the conditions that existed shortly after the Big Bang. This raises even bigger questions. Why did this region of space fail to develop galaxies when others did? Did something prevent matter from condensing there? Or was there an unknown force at play that shaped the void into what we see today? Some scientists have even speculated that the Boötes Void might be connected to dark energy, the mysterious force driving the acceleration of the universe's expansion. Dark energy is one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in physics, and it is thought to make up nearly 70% of the universe's total energy content. Could it be that dark energy behaves differently inside cosmic voids? If so, the Boötes Void might not just be an empty space. It could be a unique laboratory where the properties of dark energy can be studied. To test these ideas, astronomers have used some of the most powerful telescopes available to peer into the Boötes Void, searching for anything that could provide a clue to its origins. Despite the overwhelming emptiness, some faint galaxies have been detected in the void. These galaxies are incredibly rare and isolated, existing in a cosmic desert with almost nothing around them. The few galaxies found within the Boötes Void are so isolated that they challenge our understanding of galactic evolution. Galaxies typically form and evolve through interactions with their neighbors, merging together and exchanging gas, stars, and dark matter. In a typical galaxy cluster, interactions between galaxies are common, fueling the growth of supermassive black holes and triggering new bursts of star formation. But in the Boötes Void, this process doesn't happen. The galaxies that exist there are stranded, cut off from the rest of the universe, evolving in complete isolation. This raises another question: how did these galaxies form in the first place? If the void was always empty, then where did they come from? Some astronomers believe that these galaxies may have been left behind when the void formed, while others suggest that they might have slowly drifted into the void over billions of years. Either way, their existence only deepens the mystery, because it suggests that even in the most desolate corners of the universe, galaxies can still find a way to survive. The Boötes Void is often described as a nothingness, but in many ways, it is one of the most thought-provoking places in the cosmos. It represents the limits of our knowledge, a reminder that even with all our advances in astronomy, there are still vast regions of the universe that defy explanation. The void is a cosmic question mark, an anomaly that suggests there is something fundamental about the structure of the universe that we do not yet understand. For some, the Boötes Void is even a source of existential contemplation. If the universe were to expand indefinitely, and galaxies were to drift further apart due to dark energy, then in the distant future, the entire cosmos might resemble the Boötes Void. Stars will burn out, galaxies will fade, and the universe will become a cold, empty place, a void of unimaginable scale. In a sense, the Boötes Void might be a glimpse of what's to come, a preview of the final fate of the universe billions of years from now. But for now, the Boötes Void remains an unsolved mystery, a puzzle that continues to challenge astronomers and physicists. Its vast emptiness raises more questions than answers, forcing us to reconsider everything we think we know about the structure of the cosmos. Perhaps one day, with more advanced telescopes and deeper observations, we will uncover the true story behind this strange and hauntingly empty region of space. Until then, the Boötes Void remains one of the greatest enigmas of the universe, a silent and endless void that reminds us just how little we truly know about the cosmos. The Boötes Void is one of the most perplexing and haunting regions in the known universe. Its very existence raises deep questions about the structure and evolution of the cosmos, and despite decades of study, we still don't have a definitive answer as to why it is so empty. The implications of this void stretch far beyond just astronomy. They challenge fundamental ideas in cosmology, physics, and even philosophy. To truly appreciate the scale of this mystery, it's important to put the Boötes Void into perspective. If you were inside this vast region of nothingness, the nearest galaxy would be so far away that the night sky would be almost completely dark. Unlike our own sky, which is filled with stars, planets, and the faint glow of the Milky Way, an observer within the Boötes Void would see almost nothing at all. This is not just a lack of bright stars, it is a level of emptiness that is difficult to even comprehend. This eerie darkness leads to another intriguing question: could life ever exist in such an isolated environment? We know that galaxies are the cradles of star formation and planetary systems. The interactions between galaxies, the gravitational forces that pull gas and dust together, and the explosions of supernovae that seed space with heavy elements, all of these processes are essential for the formation of planets and the conditions necessary for life. In the Boötes Void, these processes are almost non-existent. The extreme isolation of the few galaxies that do exist within this void means that they have been left to evolve in complete solitude, unaffected by the cosmic interactions that shape most of the universe. If intelligent civilizations exist elsewhere in the cosmos, they would rely on the presence of neighboring galaxies for technological advancements, cosmic exploration, and even the detection of other civilizations. A species evolving in the Boötes Void would face an unparalleled level of cosmic loneliness. With no visible galaxies in their sky, they might never realize that the universe is full of stars and galaxies. They might assume that their small, isolated galaxy is the entire universe. If they developed astronomy, they would have no way of detecting the large-scale structure of the cosmos that we can see. This raises profound questions about how our perspective on the universe is shaped by our cosmic environment. But what if the Boötes Void isn't just an isolated pocket of the universe? What if it holds deeper secrets, secrets that could change the way we think about space itself? Some researchers have proposed that the void may not be entirely empty but instead filled with a form of matter that we have yet to detect. Dark matter, the invisible substance that makes up most of the mass in the universe, could theoretically be present in large amounts within the void. If true, this could mean that the Boötes Void is not as empty as it appears but rather filled with something we cannot yet perceive. There is also the possibility that the void could be a remnant of an ancient cosmic event, something that happened long before galaxies had fully formed. If, for example, the early universe experienced uneven regions of rapid expansion, then certain areas could have been stretched out more than others, leaving behind massive voids like Boötes. This idea aligns with some versions of inflation theory, which suggests that during the earliest moments of the universe, space expanded at different rates in different places. If the Boötes Void was one of the regions where expansion occurred at an extreme rate, then it may have been doomed to remain empty from the very beginning. And then there's the most speculative idea of all, the possibility that the Boötes Void is evidence of something beyond our own universe. Some have suggested that such a vast empty space could be the result of a collision between our universe and another in the distant past. If our universe is just one of many in a multiverse, then occasional interactions between these universes might leave behind scars in the form of massive voids. If this idea is true, then the Boötes Void isn't just an anomaly within our universe. It could be a sign that our universe itself is part of a much larger, more complex reality. Of course, proving such a theory is nearly impossible with our current technology. But even without such extreme explanations, the Boötes Void remains one of the most mysterious and fascinating objects in the sky. It is a place where the normal rules of galaxy formation seem to break down, a place where the cosmos appears to have simply skipped over an entire region of space. In the coming decades, new telescopes and space missions may provide more insights into this void and others like it. Scientists are already planning deeper surveys of the universe that will allow us to map out cosmic voids in greater detail. If we find more voids of similar size and structure, we may begin to see patterns that help explain how they form. On the other hand, if the Boötes Void remains an outlier, if no other voids like it are found, then it may indicate that something truly unique happened in this region of space. Until then, the Boötes Void remains an unsolved mystery, a vast and silent enigma floating in the depths of the cosmos. It is a reminder that, despite all of our advances in science, there are still things in the universe that defy explanation. It challenges our understanding of how the cosmos is structured, forces us to reconsider the forces that shape galaxies, and perhaps even hints at deeper, more fundamental truths about reality itself. The Boötes Void is not just empty space. It is a puzzle, a cosmic anomaly that refuses to fit neatly into our existing models. And as long as it remains unexplained, it will continue to be one of the greatest mysteries of the universe. The Boötes Void is a reminder that the universe is not as uniform as we often imagine. While much of the cosmos is filled with galaxies, clusters, and cosmic filaments stretching across space, the existence of such an enormous and empty region disrupts our expectations. It raises fundamental questions about how the large-scale structure of the universe formed and whether there are forces at play that we do not yet fully understand. The very fact that something so vast and empty exists challenges our understanding of cosmic evolution, making the Boötes Void one of the most perplexing enigmas in astronomy. To understand why this void is so strange, we have to look at how galaxies are usually distributed across the universe. The large-scale structure of the cosmos is often described as a cosmic web, a network of galaxies connected by filaments of dark matter and gas. These filaments form the scaffolding upon which galaxies cluster, creating massive superclusters and dense galactic neighborhoods. Between these filaments are vast empty spaces, voids, where fewer galaxies exist. However, most voids are nowhere near as large or empty as the Boötes Void. Typically, even in these less dense regions, galaxies are scattered throughout, forming smaller structures or lone galaxies floating in relative isolation. The Boötes Void, however, is not just an average underdense region. It is an extreme case, a void so vast that it defies conventional explanations. One of the most intriguing questions is how such a void could have formed in the first place. Some cosmologists believe that the Boötes Void is simply a natural consequence of cosmic evolution. As the universe expanded, slight variations in the density of matter led to the formation of galaxies in some regions while leaving other regions relatively empty. In this view, the void is just an extreme example of this process, a place where the density of matter was so low that very few galaxies ever formed. However, this explanation does not fully satisfy astronomers because even the emptiest regions of the universe typically have more galaxies than what we see in the Boötes Void. Others suggest that the void may have been created by something more dramatic. One possibility is that a large region of space was cleared out by the gravitational influence of nearby massive structures. If a powerful gravitational force, such as a massive galactic supercluster, pulled matter away from the region where the Boötes Void is now, it could have left behind an enormous empty space. This would be similar to how a strong gravitational field can pull gas and dust away from a region, preventing stars from forming there. However, no clear evidence of such an event has been found, and the galaxies on the edges of the Boötes Void do not appear to have been significantly disturbed. An even more radical idea is that the Boötes Void could be the remnant of a past cosmic event, perhaps even an ancient collision between different regions of the universe. Some cosmologists have suggested that the void might be evidence of an early interaction between our universe and another universe in the distant past. If such an event occurred, it could have disrupted the formation of galaxies in that region, leaving behind a vast emptiness. While this idea remains purely speculative, it is an interesting possibility that aligns with certain models of the multiverse. Regardless of its origin, the Boötes Void presents a unique challenge for scientists trying to model the universe's large-scale structure. Most cosmological simulations predict voids, but few predict voids of this size and emptiness. This means that either the Boötes Void is an extremely rare and unusual occurrence, or our models of cosmic structure formation are incomplete. If the latter is true, then studying the Boötes Void could provide valuable insights into the hidden mechanisms that shape the universe. Another mystery surrounding the Boötes Void is the nature of the galaxies that do exist within it. Although it is incredibly empty, the void is not completely devoid of matter. About 60 galaxies have been identified inside it. These galaxies are spread out across vast distances, making them some of the most isolated galaxies in the universe. Astronomers have studied these galaxies in hopes of understanding how they formed and evolved in such extreme isolation. One of the strangest aspects of these galaxies is that they appear to have developed in a way that is different from galaxies in more populated regions of space. Because they are so isolated, they have had little to no interaction with other galaxies. In most of the universe, galaxies evolve by interacting, merging, and exchanging material with their neighbors. These interactions play a crucial role in galaxy formation, fueling star formation and shaping their structures. The galaxies in the Boötes Void, however, have evolved in near-total isolation, meaning they may have unique characteristics not seen in other galaxies. Studying these isolated galaxies could provide valuable insights into how galaxies evolve under different conditions. If they have different structures, chemical compositions, or rates of star formation compared to galaxies in denser regions, it could tell us more about the fundamental processes that drive galaxy evolution. In some ways, these galaxies are like cosmic laboratories, natural experiments that allow scientists to study what happens when galaxies develop without external influences. But beyond scientific questions, the Boötes Void also raises more philosophical questions about the nature of the universe. The concept of such a vast empty space, devoid of the structures that make up the rest of the cosmos, is unsettling. It is a stark reminder that the universe is not evenly distributed and that there are places where nothingness dominates. This emptiness can be eerie to think about, an entire region of the universe where, for billions of years, almost nothing has happened. Some have even speculated about what it would be like for a civilization to exist within the Boötes Void. If intelligent life had evolved inside one of its few galaxies, it would be cut off from the rest of the universe in a way that is difficult to imagine. The vast emptiness surrounding them would mean that their night sky would be almost completely dark. They would have no knowledge of the grand cosmic structures that exist beyond their void, no way of detecting other galaxies, and no reason to believe that the universe contained anything beyond their own small region of space. Their entire understanding of reality would be shaped by the isolation of their cosmic home. In the grand scheme of things, the Boötes Void is a reminder that the universe is full of anomalies, strange, unexplained phenomena that challenge our understanding of the cosmos. It is one of the largest mysteries in astronomy, and despite decades of study, we still do not fully understand how it came to be. Whether it is simply a rare cosmic accident, a sign of unknown forces at work, or even a relic of an event from the earliest moments of the universe, the Boötes Void remains one of the most haunting and enigmatic regions of space. And so, the mystery continues. As new telescopes and advanced simulations allow us to peer deeper into the cosmos, we may one day find the answers we seek. But until then, the Boötes Void stands as one of the greatest unanswered questions in astronomy, a vast, silent expanse that defies explanation and forces us to rethink what we thought we knew about the universe. The Boötes Void is not just an empty region of space. It is a cosmic enigma that challenges the very foundations of our understanding of how the universe formed and evolved. Its immense size and extreme lack of galaxies make it an anomaly that refuses to fit neatly into our current models of cosmic structure. This raises profound questions. Is the Boötes Void a natural but exceptionally rare occurrence? Or is it evidence of some hidden process in the universe that we have yet to understand? To grasp the true scale of this mystery, let's put its size into perspective. The Boötes Void spans approximately 330 million light-years across. To put that in perspective, if you were traveling at the speed of light, the fastest speed possible in the universe, it would take you 330 million years just to cross from one side of the void to the other. That's longer than the time it took for dinosaurs to evolve and go extinct on Earth. This vast emptiness contains so little matter that it defies statistical expectations, making it one of the greatest cosmic anomalies ever discovered. Astronomers first identified the Boötes Void in 1981 when a team of researchers led by Robert Kirshner began mapping galaxy distributions across space. They expected to find the usual web-like structures of galaxies, but instead, they stumbled upon something shocking, a region that was almost completely empty. At first, they thought it might be a mistake, but further observations confirmed its existence. The more they studied it, the stranger it became. Unlike typical voids, which still contain at least some galaxies scattered throughout, the Boötes Void was nearly devoid of any detectable matter. Initially, astronomers thought that maybe they just hadn't looked hard enough. Perhaps, with more powerful telescopes, they would find faint galaxies hidden within it. Over time, they did find some galaxies inside the void, around 60 of them. But even with these, the Boötes Void is still vastly underpopulated. For comparison, a region of space that size in a typical part of the universe should contain around 10,000 galaxies. This means that even with the galaxies we have detected inside it, the void is still over 99% empty compared to what it should be. One of the biggest questions about the Boötes Void is how it could have formed. According to standard cosmological models, the early universe was not uniform. It had slight variations in density. Some regions had more matter, while others had less. Over billions of years, gravity pulled matter together to form galaxies and galaxy clusters, while the less dense regions became voids. But even with this natural process of cosmic evolution, the Boötes Void is far larger and emptier than most other voids. This suggests that something unusual happened in this region. One possible explanation is that smaller voids merged together over time, creating a much larger supervoid. Just as galaxies can merge to form larger galaxies, and galaxy clusters can merge to form superclusters, voids can also combine to create massive empty regions. If multiple smaller voids happen to be adjacent to each other, they could have grown together, leaving behind a single enormous void. However, even this explanation has problems. Merging voids would still leave behind some residual galaxies, and the Boötes Void is so empty that this process alone doesn't seem to fully explain it. Another possibility is that an unknown force or event prevented galaxies from forming in this region in the first place. One idea is that a massive cosmic explosion, such as an early quasar outburst, could have cleared out this area. Quasars are extremely powerful objects, supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies that emit enormous amounts of energy. If a quasar or another energetic event occurred early in the history of the universe, it could have pushed away gas and matter from this region, preventing galaxies from forming. However, no direct evidence of such an event has been found. Some scientists have even speculated that the Boötes Void could be a sign of something even more exotic, such as evidence of a past interaction with another universe. In some versions of the multiverse theory, our universe is just one of many that exist. Occasionally, these universes could interact or collide, leaving behind strange anomalies in the cosmic structure. If something like this happened in the past, it might have disrupted matter in this region, preventing galaxies from forming. While this idea remains highly speculative, the sheer strangeness of the Boötes Void makes it difficult to rule anything out completely. Beyond the scientific mystery, the Boötes Void also has a deeply unsettling quality. When we look at the night sky, we see thousands of stars and galaxies stretching across space, creating a sense of cosmic abundance. But imagine standing inside one of the few galaxies within the Boötes Void. The night sky would be almost completely dark. There would be no dense clusters of galaxies, no bright cosmic structures, just an overwhelming void of nothingness. Any intelligent civilization that evolved in such a galaxy would have an entirely different perception of the universe. They might believe that they were alone in the cosmos, never suspecting that beyond the emptiness of their sky, countless galaxies exist in other parts of the universe. The existence of the Boötes Void also raises profound philosophical questions about the nature of the universe. If such a massive region of emptiness can exist, what else might be out there that we have yet to discover? Are there even larger voids hidden beyond our observable universe? Could there be other anomalies that challenge our understanding of cosmic structure? The Boötes Void serves as a humbling reminder that we still have much to learn about the universe. As technology advances, astronomers hope to study the Boötes Void in greater detail. Future telescopes, such as the upcoming James Webb Space Telescope and next-generation radio observatories, may provide more clues about what lies within this vast emptiness. Perhaps we will discover more faint galaxies hiding within it, or maybe we will find evidence of some unknown cosmic phenomenon that created it. Until then, the Boötes Void remains one of the most perplexing and awe-inspiring mysteries of space. The Boötes Void is more than just an empty stretch of space. It is an anomaly that defies our current understanding of cosmic structure. The more we study it, the more questions it raises, and the deeper the mystery becomes. Scientists have spent decades trying to understand how such a vast region could remain almost completely devoid of galaxies, yet no definitive answer has emerged. This raises profound questions not only about how the universe evolved but also about the possibility that our understanding of cosmology is incomplete. One of the biggest puzzles about the Boötes Void is why it is so much emptier than other voids. In the large-scale structure of the universe, voids are common. The cosmos is arranged in a web-like pattern, with galaxies and galaxy clusters forming dense filaments, while vast voids exist between them. However, most voids still contain a reasonable number of galaxies, just at a lower density than the surrounding areas. The Boötes Void, on the other hand, is almost completely empty. This level of emptiness is statistically improbable, leading some scientists to suspect that something unusual must have happened in this region. The idea that the Boötes Void formed from the merging of smaller voids is one of the leading theories, but even this has its problems. If smaller voids merged, we would expect to see remnants of the galaxies that once occupied those areas. Instead, the Boötes Void appears to have remained largely untouched by cosmic evolution. This suggests that whatever process created it must have been highly effective at preventing galaxy formation. Some researchers believe that an event in the early universe, such as a massive burst of radiation or an interaction with dark matter, might have cleared this region of matter before galaxies had a chance to form. Dark matter is another potential explanation. Scientists believe that dark matter makes up about 85% of the total matter in the universe, but because it does not emit or absorb light, it is invisible to telescopes. Dark matter plays a crucial role in the formation of galaxies by providing additional gravitational pull that helps matter clump together. If the Boötes Void somehow had a lower concentration of dark matter in its early history, it might not have been able to form galaxies in the same way as other regions of the universe. However, this idea remains speculative, as there is currently no direct way to measure dark matter distribution within the void. Another intriguing possibility is that the Boötes Void is not a natural feature of the universe but instead a relic of an ancient cosmic event that reshaped the distribution of galaxies. Some scientists have proposed that powerful cosmic winds or energetic jets from a past quasar might have swept through this region, pushing away gas and preventing galaxies from forming. If a quasar had been active in this region billions of years ago, it could have left behind a massive empty space after its energy output died down. However, no evidence of such a quasar has been found, making this explanation difficult to verify. The mystery of the Boötes Void becomes even stranger when we consider the possibility that it might be evidence of a deeper cosmic phenomenon that we have yet to understand. Some researchers have suggested that the void could be linked to theories about the multiverse, the idea that our universe is just one of many. In some versions of this theory, different universes might interact or leave behind imprints on each other. If the Boötes Void were the result of such an interaction, it would be one of the first pieces of observational evidence hinting at the existence of other universes. While this idea is purely speculative, it highlights just how perplexing this vast empty region truly is. Beyond the scientific implications, the Boötes Void also challenges our perception of the universe on a more philosophical level. The concept of a nearly empty region spanning hundreds of millions of light-years is difficult to comprehend. If you were inside one of the few galaxies that exist within the void, your night sky would be nearly devoid of other galaxies. The cosmic web, which is visible in most other parts of the universe, would be almost non-existent from your perspective. Any intelligent life that might exist in one of these galaxies would have a completely different understanding of the cosmos than we do. They might look out into the night sky and believe they were alone in the universe, never realizing that countless galaxies exist beyond the boundaries of their void. This idea leads to even deeper questions. Could there be civilizations within the Boötes Void that have never had contact with the rest of the universe? If intelligent life evolved in such an isolated environment, would they have any way of discovering that the cosmos is far larger than what they can see? The Boötes Void could be one of the most extreme examples of cosmic isolation, where any life that exists within it might be forever cut off from the rest of the universe. As our technology improves, astronomers continue to search for answers about this perplexing region. Future telescopes may allow us to study it in more detail, revealing faint galaxies that are currently beyond our detection capabilities. Advanced simulations of cosmic evolution might help us understand whether voids of this size can naturally form, or if some unknown force is at play. Until we have more data, the Boötes Void remains one of the most fascinating unsolved mysteries of space. The search for answers continues, but for now, the Boötes Void stands as a reminder of how much we still don't know about the universe. Its existence forces us to confront the possibility that there are aspects of cosmic evolution that we do not yet understand. Whether it is simply an extreme statistical anomaly, a result of some unknown cosmic process, or even a hint of something beyond our universe, one thing is certain: the Boötes Void is a mystery that refuses to be ignored. The Boötes Void isn't just an empty space, it's an enigma that defies what we expect from the structure of the universe. In a cosmos where gravity pulls matter together to form galaxies, stars, and planets, the sheer emptiness of this void seems almost unnatural. Scientists have theories, but none fully explain why such a vast region has remained almost completely barren. The deeper we investigate, the more unsettling the questions become. Is the Boötes Void simply a natural quirk of the universe, or is it evidence of something we don't yet understand? Perhaps something we haven't even considered. One of the most mind-bending aspects of this void is just how alone any potential observers inside it would feel. If you lived in one of the few galaxies scattered within the Boötes Void, your night sky would be vastly different from ours. Here on Earth, we can look up and see countless stars, and beyond them, distant galaxies stretch across the cosmos. But inside the void, the sky would be nearly empty. The overwhelming darkness would be punctuated by only a few faint smudges of light, distant galaxies that are far apart from one another. The sense of isolation would be unimaginable. Astronomers have mapped the large-scale structure of the universe and found that most galaxies are arranged in a web-like pattern, with clusters connected by filaments of matter, while vast cosmic voids lie in between. But no void compares to the sheer scale of the Boötes Void. Most cosmic voids, even the largest ones, still contain galaxies scattered throughout. The Boötes Void is different. It's so empty that it stands out even among other voids. This has led some researchers to suggest that something must have happened in this region to prevent galaxies from forming in the first place. One idea is that the Boötes Void formed from smaller voids merging together over billions of years. If the universe started with smaller voids that gradually expanded and combined, it could theoretically create a larger void like this one. But this explanation has some serious problems. If the voids merged over time, we would expect to see some evidence of the process, faint galaxies or remnants of past cosmic structures. Instead, the Boötes Void remains eerily empty, with only a handful of galaxies at its edge. Another possibility is that this region simply had fewer density fluctuations in the early universe. Cosmologists believe that shortly after the Big Bang, tiny variations in the density of matter determined where galaxies would eventually form. Regions with slightly more matter grew into galaxies and clusters, while regions with less matter became voids. If the Boötes Void was an area where these density fluctuations were particularly weak, it might explain why so few galaxies formed there. But even this explanation doesn't fully account for why the void is so extreme compared to others. Dark matter is another key suspect in this mystery. Though invisible, dark matter is thought to play a crucial role in shaping the universe. It provides extra gravitational pull, helping galaxies form by pulling matter together. If the Boötes Void has an unusually low concentration of dark matter, it might have struggled to form galaxies in the first place. However, dark matter is notoriously difficult to study because it doesn't emit, absorb, or reflect light. Until we have better ways to measure it, this theory remains purely speculative. Some scientists have even suggested that the Boötes Void might be evidence of an ancient cosmic event that disrupted galaxy formation. One possibility is that a powerful quasar, a supermassive black hole feeding on matter, once existed in this region and blasted away the surrounding gas. Quasars can emit enormous amounts of energy, sometimes clearing out entire regions of space. If a quasar had been active in the Boötes Void billions of years ago, it might have prevented galaxies from forming by expelling all the necessary gas. However, no evidence of such a quasar has been found, and the mechanics of how it would have cleared such a massive area remain unclear. The more we look at the Boötes Void, the more unsettling it becomes. Some theorists have even speculated that this void could be something far stranger than an ordinary cosmic anomaly. Could it be the result of a cosmic event beyond our understanding, perhaps even evidence of another universe interacting with ours? The idea of the multiverse suggests that our universe may be just one of many, and some models propose that different universes could occasionally interact. If such an interaction occurred in the past, it might have left behind a massive empty space, like a scar in the fabric of our universe. While this idea is highly speculative, it demonstrates just how baffling the Boötes Void truly is. The implications of this void extend beyond science and into the realm of philosophy. What does it mean to have such an immense, empty region in an otherwise structured universe? Does it suggest that the cosmos is more chaotic than we assume? Or is the Boötes Void simply an extreme outlier, a statistical oddity that just happened to form in an unusual way? If there is intelligent life inside the void, how would their understanding of the universe differ from ours? Would they believe they were alone, never knowing that a vast cosmic web of galaxies exists beyond their empty bubble? These questions push the boundaries of what we know and challenge us to think beyond our current scientific models. As technology advances, we may eventually uncover more about the Boötes Void and the forces that shaped it. Future telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope and other next-generation observatories, may allow us to detect faint galaxies that are currently hidden from view. More advanced simulations of cosmic evolution may provide better explanations for how such voids form. But for now, the Boötes Void remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the universe, an immense, haunting, and seemingly unnatural emptiness in a universe otherwise filled with galaxies. The Boötes Void forces us to confront one of the most unsettling possibilities in cosmology, that the universe may not be as predictable and structured as we assume. While scientists have developed models to explain galaxy formation, the Boötes Void seems to defy these expectations. It challenges our understanding of cosmic evolution and raises the question of whether we truly comprehend the large-scale structure of the universe. One of the biggest puzzles about the void is its apparent isolation. If the universe evolved in a uniform manner, we would expect the distribution of galaxies to be relatively even. While cosmic voids are a natural part of this structure, the Boötes Void is so much larger than others that it stands out as an anomaly. Even stranger is the fact that the galaxies that do exist within the void are not randomly scattered but seem to form a loose, faintly connected network. This raises an intriguing question. Are these galaxies survivors of an unknown cosmic process that erased others? Or were they always alone in this empty stretch of space? The idea that galaxies may have once existed in the Boötes Void but were somehow removed is a controversial one. Some researchers have proposed that an enormous cosmic event, Perhaps the energetic outburst of a distant quasar or an intense wave of cosmic radiation could have stripped this region of its gas, preventing future stars from forming. But there is no evidence of such an event. Others suggest that the void may have been shaped by dark energy, the mysterious force that drives the accelerated expansion of the universe. If dark energy behaves differently in certain regions of space, it could have pushed galaxies away from the void, creating an unnaturally large empty region. One of the more speculative but fascinating theories is that the Boötes Void could be an observational clue to something far more exotic, an artificial void created by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Some physicists have suggested that highly advanced civilizations, capable of manipulating cosmic structures on a grand scale, might alter their surroundings to harness energy more efficiently. If such a civilization existed billions of years ago, could it have rearranged the matter in this region, leaving behind an unnatural emptiness? This concept is purely hypothetical, but it raises the possibility that voids like Boötes may not be entirely natural formations. If we assume that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe, then civilizations living within the Boötes Void would experience reality in a fundamentally different way than we do. On Earth, we take for granted the beauty of a star-filled night sky, the presence of other galaxies, and the vast web of cosmic structures that shape our universe. But for a civilization in the void, the cosmos would appear desolate and nearly empty. Their understanding of astronomy and physics might develop along an entirely different path, potentially leading to unique discoveries or even a drastically different perception of the universe. The Boötes Void is also important for another reason. It forces us to reconsider what we think we know about the early universe. Scientists believe that cosmic voids formed as a result of small density fluctuations after the Big Bang, with matter naturally clustering in some areas while leaving behind empty regions. But if the Boötes Void is truly an outlier, so much emptier than it should be, then something about our models may be missing. Could there be an undiscovered force that shaped the void? Could it be a remnant of an early phase of the universe, one that we don't yet fully understand? Some astronomers are using cutting-edge simulations to recreate the formation of voids like Boötes in an attempt to understand how such an extreme emptiness could have arisen. These simulations take into account dark matter, dark energy, and the known physics of galaxy formation, but even the most advanced models struggle to replicate the sheer scale of the Boötes Void. If future simulations continue to fall short, it may indicate that something fundamental about our understanding of the cosmos is incomplete. One particularly strange aspect of the Boötes Void is its near-perfect roundness. Most cosmic voids are irregular in shape, as they form between galaxy clusters in a way that reflects the chaotic nature of cosmic evolution. But the Boötes Void is unusually spherical, as if it were carved out by some unknown process. This characteristic has led some to speculate that the void could be the result of an ancient collision between two different regions of the universe, perhaps even an interaction with another universe. The concept of a multiverse suggests that our universe may be just one of many, and some physicists propose that different universes could occasionally interact in subtle ways. If another universe once brushed against ours, it could have left behind an imprint, perhaps a massive void where galaxies failed to form. While this idea remains highly speculative, it offers one possible explanation for why the Boötes Void appears so unnaturally empty compared to other cosmic voids. Another aspect that makes the void so baffling is that it is not completely empty. The few galaxies within it seem to form a loose chain, as if they were remnants of a once populated region that was somehow stripped of the rest of its matter. These galaxies appear isolated, separated by immense distances, making it unlikely that they could interact with one another. If life exists in one of these galaxies, it would experience the universe in near total solitude, without knowledge of the vibrant cosmic web that lies beyond the void. What if the Boötes Void is not an anomaly, but a hint of something larger? What if there are other voids of similar or even greater scale that we have not yet discovered? As our observational tools improve, we may find that the Boötes Void is not unique, but part of a pattern that reveals something fundamental about the way the universe is structured. Some researchers believe that voids may hold clues about the nature of dark energy, and could even serve as natural laboratories for testing new physics. If we could study the Boötes Void in greater detail, what might we find? Could there be faint, undiscovered structures hidden within it, too distant or too dim for us to currently detect? Could there be evidence of past activity, ancient galactic interactions that once shaped this region but have since faded away? Could we find new clues about the forces that govern the large-scale structure of the universe? The Boötes Void represents one of the most profound cosmic mysteries we have encountered. It is a reminder that, for all of our scientific progress, there are still vast unknowns in our understanding of the universe. Whether it is a natural outlier, a clue to undiscovered physics, or something far stranger, the void challenges us to think beyond what we know and continue searching for answers. Perhaps, one day, we will understand exactly why this enormous empty region exists. But for now, it remains a silent, dark expanse, a cosmic riddle waiting to be solved. The Boötes Void stands as a cosmic enigma, challenging our perceptions of how the universe organizes itself. It forces astronomers and physicists to question the very fabric of cosmic evolution. If we assume that galaxies are meant to form in a roughly uniform distribution, then why does this particular region of the universe defy that expectation? Is it merely a statistical anomaly, or is there something more profound at play? One of the biggest issues in explaining the Boötes Void is the sheer scale of its emptiness. Typical cosmic voids, while large, still contain a fair number of galaxies. They form naturally as a result of the gravitational interactions between matter and the early universe. Over time, galaxies cluster into dense filaments and walls, while less populated regions become voids. But Boötes is so extreme that it almost seems unnatural. Even with our most advanced models of the universe's evolution, it is difficult to explain how such an enormous region could remain so empty while the surrounding universe is packed with galaxies. A key piece of the puzzle is the question of whether the Boötes Void has always been this empty, or whether something actively removed galaxies from it. If it formed naturally, then it must have been a region of space where, for some unknown reason, matter failed to coalesce into galaxies. But if it was once populated and became empty over time, then what force could have driven entire galaxies away? One possibility is that the void was shaped by powerful gravitational influences in the distant past. Some astronomers have proposed that surrounding galaxy clusters could have exerted strong gravitational forces on the void, pulling matter outward and leaving an empty region behind. This is somewhat similar to the way large-scale cosmic structures form, but in the case of the Boötes Void, the effect would have been taken to an extreme level. Another theory suggests that dark energy, the mysterious force driving the expansion of the universe, may behave differently in some regions of space. If dark energy had a stronger effect in the Boötes Void, it could have pushed galaxies outward, creating a region of extreme emptiness. This idea is purely theoretical, but it would imply that dark energy is not uniform throughout the cosmos, which would have major implications for our understanding of physics. There is also the possibility that we are missing something entirely. Could there be an unknown force at work, shaping the large-scale structure of the universe in ways we do not yet understand? Some physicists have even speculated that cosmic voids like Boötes could be remnants of ancient interactions between different regions of the universe, perhaps even evidence of contact with another universe. The idea that voids could be imprints left by collisions between universes comes from the theory of the multiverse. In some versions of this theory, different universes can occasionally interact, leaving behind subtle but measurable effects. If another universe once brushed against ours, it could have disrupted the normal formation of galaxies, leaving behind an unnaturally empty region like the Boötes Void. While this idea is highly speculative, it is one of the many intriguing possibilities that scientists are considering. But there is another possibility, one that, while unlikely, is impossible to completely rule out. What if the Boötes Void is not a natural feature of the universe at all? What if it is artificial? Some researchers have speculated that highly advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, capable of manipulating cosmic structures, might be able to rearrange matter on a massive scale. If such a civilization existed billions of years ago, could it have engineered the Boötes Void for some unknown purpose? This concept is similar to the idea of a Dyson sphere, a structure built by an advanced civilization to capture the energy of a star. But on a far grander scale, a civilization might theoretically be able to remove or relocate entire galaxies. While there is no evidence to support this idea, it remains a fascinating thought experiment. If intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe, then civilizations living within the Boötes Void would experience an entirely different cosmic reality than we do. Their night skies would be nearly empty, with only a few scattered galaxies visible. Their understanding of the universe might develop in a completely different way than ours, shaped by the isolation of their cosmic surroundings. The Boötes Void is also a reminder of how little we truly know about the universe. While we have made incredible progress in understanding cosmic structures, there are still many mysteries that defy explanation. The void could be a key to unlocking new physics, perhaps even revealing unknown aspects of the universe that have remained hidden until now. As our technology improves, we may eventually be able to study the Boötes Void in greater detail. Future telescopes could detect faint structures that are currently invisible to us, or reveal new insights into the way galaxies form and evolve. Some astronomers believe that studying cosmic voids could help us better understand dark energy, which remains one of the biggest mysteries in modern physics. If we could send a probe to the Boötes Void, something that is currently far beyond our technological capabilities, what might we find? Would we discover faint remnants of ancient galaxies, long since erased from existence? Would we find evidence of unknown forces shaping the structure of the universe? Or would we find something even stranger, something that challenges everything we thought we knew about the cosmos? The Boötes Void stands as one of the greatest cosmic puzzles of our time. It is a vast, empty region of space that should not exist, yet it does. Whether it is a natural outlier, a clue to undiscovered physics, or something far more mysterious, it forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge and continue searching for answers. For now, the void remains silent, its secrets hidden in the darkness. But as we continue to explore the universe, we may one day unravel the mystery of the Boötes Void, and in doing so, uncover new truths about the very nature of existence itself. The Boötes Void remains a haunting enigma, a cosmic question mark hanging in the vast expanse of space. Its sheer emptiness defies what we understand about the distribution of matter in the universe. While astronomers have catalogued thousands of galaxies forming intricate cosmic webs, this region appears as an anomalous abyss, a gap so large that it almost seems unnatural. But what if we are only beginning to scratch the surface of what this void truly represents? One of the most mind-boggling aspects of the Boötes Void is the staggering timescale required for such a structure to exist. Galaxies take billions of years to form and cluster together under the force of gravity. If the void has always been empty, then it implies that this particular region of the cosmos lacked the necessary conditions for galaxy formation for over 13 billion years. That, in itself, is an unsettling thought. It suggests that something about the initial conditions of the universe created a massive dead zone where galaxies never had a chance to develop. However, there is also another possibility, one that is perhaps even more unsettling. What if the Boötes Void was not always empty? What if something removed galaxies from it? This question leads us into speculative but fascinating territory, touching on ideas that range from exotic physics to advanced extraterrestrial engineering. Consider for a moment that the Boötes Void was once populated by galaxies, just like the surrounding universe. What could have caused them to disappear? Some have suggested that gravitational interactions with neighboring galaxy clusters could have slowly pulled them away over billions of years. But this explanation feels incomplete, as such interactions would not explain why the void is so dramatically empty compared to other regions of space. One idea is that the void could be the result of an ancient cosmic event, perhaps an interaction between different phases of the universe's evolution. Some physicists theorize that the early universe underwent rapid phase transitions, similar to how water freezes into ice. If a large-scale phase shift occurred in this part of space, it might have prevented matter from clustering into galaxies. This would mean the Boötes Void is not merely an empty region but a fossil of an ancient cosmic transformation. Another possibility is that dark energy, still one of the most mysterious forces in physics, played a role in shaping the void. Dark energy is the unseen force that is driving the accelerated expansion of the universe, and while it is assumed to act uniformly across space, what if that is not the case? If dark energy were stronger in the Boötes Void, it might have repelled galaxies outward, clearing out the region over time. This would suggest that the void is not just empty but actively repelling matter in a way that current physics cannot fully explain. But perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that the Boötes Void is not a natural phenomenon at all. Some researchers have speculated that highly advanced extraterrestrial civilizations might have the capability to manipulate cosmic structures on a massive scale. If such a civilization existed billions of years ago, could it have engineered the void for some unknown purpose? While this may sound like science fiction, the idea is not entirely without precedent. Scientists such as the astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev have proposed the concept of advanced civilizations classified by their ability to harness energy. A Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale would theoretically be capable of manipulating entire galaxies. If such a civilization existed in the distant past, could it have created the Boötes Void as part of some colossal engineering project? One speculative idea is that a super-advanced alien race could have harvested the energy of entire galaxies, dismantling them for their raw materials. If an ancient civilization were capable of starlifting, the process of extracting energy and mass from stars, it could theoretically use entire galaxies as resources. The result? A vast, unnatural void in the cosmos where galaxies once stood. This theory, while highly speculative, raises profound questions about what we might one day discover in the depths of space. If the Boötes Void were artificial, then what evidence might remain? Could there be hidden megastructures lurking within the void, detectable only by their gravitational influence? Could there be remnants of advanced technology scattered throughout its emptiness? For now, the void remains silent. We have no direct evidence of extraterrestrial involvement, nor do we fully understand why this region of space is so dramatically empty. What we do know is that the Boötes Void represents a significant anomaly in our understanding of the cosmos. It is a place where the usual rules of galaxy formation seem to have broken down, whether by natural causes, unknown physics, or something else entirely. As our observational technology improves, we may one day unlock the secrets of the Boötes Void. Future telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope and next-generation observatories, could allow us to peer deeper into its depths. Perhaps we will detect faint, hidden galaxies that were previously unseen. Or maybe we will find nothing, an emptiness so profound that it forces us to reconsider our fundamental assumptions about the universe. But what if the void itself holds a message? Some speculative thinkers have even proposed that such vast, empty spaces could be intentional signals, markers left behind by ancient civilizations to communicate across cosmic distances. If an advanced species wanted to send a message to other intelligent life, creating an unnatural void in the cosmos would certainly be an effective way to grab attention. The Boötes Void is more than just an empty space. It is a challenge, an unsolved cosmic mystery that continues to defy explanation. Whether it is a relic of the early universe, a product of unknown physics, or a sign of something even more extraordinary, it reminds us that there is still so much we do not know about the cosmos. For now, we can only look into the abyss and wonder. The void stretches across the cosmos like a silent question, waiting for an answer that may take centuries to find. But as long as we continue to explore, to question, and to push the boundaries of what we know, the secrets of the universe will not remain hidden forever. The Boötes Void stands as one of the greatest mysteries in cosmology, a vast and seemingly unnatural emptiness that continues to perplex astronomers. But what if our understanding of the void is still incomplete? What if there are hidden forces at play that we have yet to detect? One of the strangest aspects of the Boötes Void is how it challenges our understanding of cosmic evolution. Galaxies are not randomly scattered throughout the universe. Instead, they form intricate structures known as the cosmic web. This vast network consists of filaments, clusters, and superclusters of galaxies, all interconnected by gravity and shaped by the fundamental forces of the universe. Voids do exist naturally between these filaments, but none are as empty or as large as the Boötes Void. One of the leading explanations for the void's existence is that it formed through a process known as hierarchical merging. In this model, smaller voids gradually combine over billions of years, creating larger and larger empty regions. If this is the case, then the Boötes Void may not have always been so massive. It could have started as a collection of smaller voids that eventually merged into a single vast emptiness. However, there are problems with this explanation. If the Boötes Void formed through hierarchical merging, we would expect to see faint remnants of galaxies or at least a more gradual transition between the void and the surrounding cosmic structures. Instead, the edges of the Boötes Void are surprisingly sharp, as if something actively cleared out the region rather than it forming naturally over time. This has led some astronomers to question whether we are missing something fundamental about how voids form. Could it be that certain regions of space experience a different kind of gravitational evolution? Some theories suggest that variations in dark matter distribution could lead to extreme void formation. Dark matter is an invisible substance that makes up most of the universe's mass, yet we cannot directly detect it. If dark matter behaves differently in the Boötes Void, it might have played a role in preventing galaxy formation. Another possibility is that the void is not as empty as it appears. While visible galaxies are scarce, there could be a hidden population of faint, low-luminosity galaxies within the void that we have yet to detect. Some astronomers speculate that ultra-diffuse galaxies, UDGs, may populate the Boötes Void, but their faint light makes them nearly impossible to see with current telescopes. Future observatories with more sensitive detection capabilities may reveal an entire hidden ecosystem of galaxies within the void. But if no such galaxies are found, we are left with a deeply unsettling possibility. The Boötes Void may be evidence of an unknown force at work in the universe. One of the most extreme theories suggests that the void is the result of a cosmic-scale event, a cataclysmic phenomenon that erased matter from existence in this region of space. Could a cosmic explosion of unprecedented scale have swept through this part of the universe billions of years ago, leaving behind a massive void? Some physicists have speculated about the existence of vacuum decay events, where the fabric of reality itself can be altered by quantum fluctuations. If such an event occurred in the distant past, it might have wiped out entire galaxies in an instant. Another intriguing idea comes from theories of the multiverse. If our universe is just one of many, then could the Boötes Void be evidence of an interaction between our universe and another? Some models of the multiverse suggest that different universes can collide or interact in subtle ways, creating large-scale anomalies in cosmic structure. If another universe somehow influenced this region of space, it might explain why the Boötes Void is so unnaturally empty. Yet, there is another, even more unsettling thought. What if the Boötes Void is not a remnant of destruction but a sign of something still active? What if some unknown force is preventing galaxies from forming there even now? If that were the case, then the void might not just be an ancient relic, it could be a dynamic, ongoing phenomenon. And if something is actively maintaining the void, the question becomes, what? If something is actively maintaining the Boötes Void, it would imply that a force or process exists that is preventing matter from accumulating in this region of space. This raises several profound questions. Is this force natural, operating according to unknown laws of physics? Or is it artificial, evidence of some kind of cosmic engineering on a scale beyond anything we can imagine? One possibility is that the void is influenced by an unknown property of dark energy. Dark energy is the mysterious force responsible for the accelerating expansion of the universe, yet we know almost nothing about how it truly operates. If dark energy is not evenly distributed throughout space, then certain regions, like the Boötes Void, might experience an enhanced effect, pushing galaxies and matter away with a force greater than what we see elsewhere. This would mean the void is not just empty, but actively repelling matter, almost like a cosmic dead zone, where normal galaxy formation cannot occur. But another explanation is far stranger. If we consider the idea of advanced civilizations, we must also consider what a Type 3 civilization, one capable of harnessing the energy of entire galaxies, might do with such power. Would they rearrange galaxies for some unknown purpose? Would they clear out an entire region of space for reasons we cannot comprehend? The concept of astroengineering, civilizations modifying the structure of the universe itself, is a topic that has been explored by some scientists. Theoretical physicist John D. Barrow once proposed that sufficiently advanced civilizations might not only harness energy from stars but could also alter the very fabric of space and time. If such an ancient civilization had existed in the Boötes Void billions of years ago, could they have manipulated the cosmic structure in a way that created the void we see today? Some have even suggested the idea that the Boötes Void could be a cosmic quarantine zone, a region deliberately cleared out to prevent some unknown force from spreading. This theory is entirely speculative, but it raises an eerie question: what if the void is not empty by accident, but by design? If something was removed from this region, could it have been done to isolate a cosmic threat? If such an advanced civilization did exist, where would they be now? Could they have left behind remnants of their existence, structures so advanced that we cannot recognize them as artificial? Some physicists have theorized that highly advanced civilizations might create megastructures on an unimaginable scale, including artificial voids that serve purposes we cannot yet understand. The sheer scale of the Boötes Void, hundreds of millions of light-years across, suggests that if it were engineered, it would require energy sources beyond anything we can currently conceive. A Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale, which measures a civilization's technological advancement based on its energy consumption, could theoretically manipulate entire galaxies. If such a civilization existed in the distant past, it may have left behind signatures that we have not yet detected. But what kind of evidence should we look for? One idea is gravitational anomalies. If the void was artificially created, there might be irregular gravitational effects at its edges, subtle distortions in the way galaxies move around it. So far, no clear evidence of such distortions has been found, but future telescopes and observational techniques may reveal new clues. Another possibility is that the void itself is not as empty as we think. Could there be hidden objects lurking within it, faint remnants of an ancient civilization or cosmic structures beyond our understanding? Some astronomers have proposed searching for radio signals or other electromagnetic signatures within the void, just in case something is still there, waiting to be discovered. But perhaps the most chilling possibility is that the Boötes Void is not a relic of the past, but an ongoing phenomenon. If the void continues to expand or consume matter in ways we do not yet understand, then it may represent an active cosmic process, one that could eventually affect other regions of the universe. Could it be that we are witnessing something happening on a cosmic scale that we are not yet equipped to comprehend? If so, what does it mean for the future of our universe? If the Boötes Void is an ongoing phenomenon, something actively expanding or consuming matter, then we have to ask, what is driving this process, and could it eventually reach us? One unsettling idea is that the void is not merely an absence of galaxies, but the result of a process that removes galaxies from existence. This would mean that instead of simply failing to form in this region, entire galaxies might have once existed there and were somehow erased. But erased by what? One theory suggests that a vast, undetectable force, possibly a strange form of dark energy, could be at play. If dark energy behaves differently in certain regions of space, it might push galaxies apart more aggressively in the Boötes Void than elsewhere. Over billions of years, this effect could have systematically cleared out the area, leaving behind the massive empty space we see today. Another, even stranger, idea is that the void is evidence of a cosmic event horizon, a boundary beyond which information and matter simply disappear. Some physicists have speculated that if certain regions of space interact with unknown physical laws, they might act as one-way exits, similar to black holes but on a much larger scale. Could the Boötes Void be a kind of cosmic eraser, where matter that crosses a certain threshold is permanently removed from our universe? And if that's the case, what happens to the matter that vanishes? Is it destroyed entirely, or does it reappear somewhere else? Some radical hypotheses suggest that the void might be linked to another universe, perhaps a kind of cosmic doorway, where galaxies are being transported elsewhere. If this were true, it would mean that the Boötes Void is not just a mystery of absence, but an active bridge between different parts of reality. Even more intriguing is the possibility that the void is not expanding at all, but instead concealing something. Could it be that the Boötes Void is actually filled with something we simply cannot detect? Some astronomers have speculated that exotic forms of matter, such as dark matter or even stranger unknown particles, might exist within the void but remain invisible to our instruments. If this is true, then the void is not empty at all, but full of something beyond our current understanding. And then there's the question of time. The Boötes Void spans hundreds of millions of light years, meaning that when we observe it, we are seeing it as it was in the distant past. If something is happening within the void, if galaxies are still being removed, or if the void is changing in ways we cannot yet measure, it could take billions of years before we see any evidence of it from our vantage point in space. This means that whatever process created the Boötes Void could still be happening, but we wouldn't know it yet. Could this process eventually reach other regions of space? Could our own galaxy, the Milky Way, be affected? If the Boötes Void is the result of an unknown cosmic force, one that removes or rearranges galaxies, then there is no guarantee that it will remain confined to its current location. If it is growing, it could be an indicator that something larger is happening on a universal scale. What if the Boötes Void is not an anomaly, but a warning? A glimpse into a future where cosmic forces we do not yet understand continue to shape the universe in ways we cannot predict? If the Boötes Void is more than just an empty patch of space, if it is a sign of something bigger happening on a universal scale, then we have to confront an unsettling idea. Could it be growing? Could this vast, seemingly barren region of space be expanding, consuming galaxies, and altering the cosmic landscape in ways we don't yet understand? If so, what is driving this process? One possibility is that the void is a consequence of a much larger and more complex structure within the universe. Some astronomers have suggested that the universe might not be evenly structured, but rather shaped by vast, interconnected cosmic filaments, the massive tendrils of galaxies that make up the large-scale structure of the cosmos. These filaments weave through space, creating enormous gaps between them. But what if some of these gaps are not natural? What if something is carving them out? One of the most mysterious possibilities is that the Boötes Void could be the result of an ancient, ongoing cosmic war, an invisible battle playing out on a scale too vast for us to comprehend. If there were once galaxies in this region, what could have caused them to vanish? Could an advanced civilization, millions or even billions of years ahead of us, have the capability to manipulate galaxies, alter cosmic structures, or even erase entire regions of space? If such a civilization existed, would they be hiding within the void, beyond the reach of our telescopes? Some researchers have speculated that advanced extraterrestrial civilizations might deliberately create voids as a way to remain undetectable. A civilization capable of rearranging galaxies could also be capable of erasing evidence of their existence, making the Boötes Void a kind of cosmic cloaking device. But how would we even begin to detect such a civilization? One way would be to look for faint, artificial signals, radio waves or bursts of energy that don't match any known natural phenomena. Some astronomers have proposed searching the Boötes Void for such signals, but so far, nothing has been detected. However, the absence of evidence does not mean the absence of intelligence. If an advanced civilization exists within the void, they might have technology far beyond anything we can imagine, perhaps even the ability to manipulate the very fabric of space-time itself. And what if the Boötes Void is not just an absence of galaxies, but something far more disturbing? Could it be that we are looking at a cosmic event in progress, one that has been happening for billions of years, but whose effects have not yet reached us? If the void is expanding, if it is growing in a way we cannot yet detect, then it raises the terrifying possibility that something is slowly reshaping the structure of the universe. Is it possible that the universe itself is in the process of transitioning into a different state? Some physicists have theorized that our universe could undergo a phase transition, a fundamental shift in the very nature of space and time. If the Boötes Void is an early sign of such a transformation, then it might not be an isolated phenomenon. Other voids, just like it, could be forming elsewhere in the universe, slowly consuming galaxies and altering the structure of reality itself. This leads us to a truly mind-bending question: What if the Boötes Void is not expanding outward, but inward? What if everything within it has already been pulled into something we cannot see, something beyond our ability to comprehend? Could the Boötes Void be evidence of a cosmic sinkhole, an enormous rupture in space-time where matter simply disappears? Some have speculated that the void might be connected to a much larger system of hidden structures in the universe, possibly even linked to black holes on an unimaginable scale. If such a thing were true, it would mean that our understanding of the universe is deeply flawed, and that we may be on the edge of discovering a fundamental truth about the nature of existence itself. And then there's the most unsettling idea of all: what if the Boötes Void is the future of the universe? What if we are witnessing, in real time, the slow and inevitable fate of everything? If the void is expanding, consuming matter, and reshaping space itself, then it might be the first sign of an end state where the universe empties out completely, leaving behind only cold, barren nothingness. If that is the case, then the Boötes Void is not just a mystery, it is a warning. A glimpse into the far future, where all galaxies, all stars, and all forms of life have long since vanished. If the Boötes Void is a glimpse into the far future of the universe, a warning of an empty, lifeless cosmos, then we must ask, is this process inevitable? Is the universe doomed to become a vast, cold expanse of nothingness, where even the last remnants of galaxies fade into darkness? And if so, does the Boötes Void represent the first step toward that final fate? The idea that the universe is slowly emptying out is tied to one of the biggest mysteries in modern physics: dark energy. We know that the universe is expanding, but not only that, it's accelerating. Instead of slowing down over time, the expansion is speeding up, pushing galaxies farther and farther apart. Scientists believe that dark energy, an unknown force making up about 70% of the universe, is responsible for this acceleration. But what if dark energy behaves differently in different regions of space? If dark energy is stronger in some places than others, it might explain why the Boötes Void exists. Perhaps this region is not just empty, but actively pushing matter away, creating an expanding bubble of nothingness. If that's the case, then this process might not stop with the Boötes Void. Similar voids could be forming all over the universe, growing larger over time, until the cosmic web itself begins to unravel. Eventually, every galaxy could be pushed away from every other galaxy, and the universe would become a vast, lonely expanse where nothing new can form, and nothing old can survive. But what if the Boötes Void is more than just an effect of dark energy? What if it represents something even stranger, something we don't yet have the tools to detect? Some scientists have suggested that the void might be evidence of a cosmic phase transition, a fundamental shift in the nature of the universe itself. Think about how water turns into ice. At a certain temperature, the molecules in water stop moving freely and lock into place, forming a rigid structure. Something similar could happen to the fabric of the universe. The Boötes Void might be a region where space itself has undergone such a transformation, a place where the fundamental laws of physics are different from the rest of the universe. If that's true, then the void is not just empty, it's an entirely different kind of space, governed by rules we don't yet understand. And if that's the case, then the most unsettling question is, will this transformation spread? Could our region of space eventually be swallowed by this new phase, rewriting the fundamental laws of reality as we know them? If so, the Boötes Void could be the first visible sign of something much bigger, a process that has been happening for billions of years, slowly creeping across the cosmos, and one day, it might reach us. But there's another possibility. What if the Boötes Void was never filled with galaxies to begin with? What if it has always been empty, not because something removed galaxies from it, but because something prevented them from forming in the first place? One idea is that the early universe had regions with vastly different conditions. In most parts of the universe, tiny quantum fluctuations, random variations in energy, helped shape the cosmic web, leading to the formation of galaxies. But what if the Boötes Void formed in a region where these fluctuations were unusually weak? If there were fewer density variations in that part of the early universe, then fewer galaxies would have formed, and the void would have remained empty. But why would one region of the universe have different initial conditions than another? Some scientists speculate that this could be evidence of something even bigger, the multiverse. If our universe is just one of many, then different regions of space might have different properties depending on how they formed. The Boötes Void could be a place where the underlying physics of our universe broke down, leaving behind a scar, a place where the normal rules of galaxy formation never took hold. And if the Boötes Void is a sign of the multiverse, then it might not be the only one. There could be other voids, even larger ones, scattered across the cosmos, remnants of places where different physical laws once clashed, leaving behind vast regions of nothingness. If that's true, then the Boötes Void is not just an empty patch of space. It's a glimpse into a much bigger reality, one where our universe is just a small part of something far beyond our comprehension. But what if the Boötes Void is not just a natural phenomenon? What if something, or someone, created it? This leads us to one of the most controversial ideas in astrophysics: the possibility that advanced civilizations could manipulate galaxies on a cosmic scale. We already know that humans are capable of reshaping the environment on Earth. If a civilization were millions or even billions of years ahead of us, could they reshape entire regions of space? Some scientists have proposed that ultra-advanced civilizations, what we might call Type 3 or even Type 4 civilizations on the Kardashev scale, could have the ability to move stars, redirect galaxies, or even create voids as a way to harvest energy or avoid detection. Could the Boötes Void be the result of an ancient cosmic engineering project, one so vast that we can barely comprehend it? Imagine a civilization capable of extracting energy from entire galaxies, using them as fuel for their technology. If they wanted to remain hidden, they might remove all traces of their activities by clearing out an entire region of space, creating a vast void where nothing remains. The Boötes Void could be evidence of a civilization so advanced that it no longer needs to exist within the visible universe. It has moved beyond the need for stars, planets, or even physical matter. And if that's the case, then the biggest question is, where did they go? Are they still out there watching? Or have they moved on to an entirely different form of existence, beyond anything we can understand? Even if the Boötes Void has a natural explanation, its sheer scale forces us to confront some of the biggest mysteries in cosmology. Why do voids like this exist? Are they the result of chance, or do they reveal something deeper about the structure of the universe? Is the void growing, and if so, what does that mean for the future of space? Could it be a remnant of another universe, a hidden realm of dark matter, or a warning sign of cosmic decay? We may never know for sure. But one thing is clear: the Boötes Void is not just an empty space. It is a riddle, a question mark in the structure of the cosmos, a silent, yawning chasm that challenges everything we think we understand about the universe. And the more we look into it, the more we realize how little we know. The Boötes Void stands as one of the greatest enigmas in modern cosmology, an anomaly so vast that its very existence challenges our understanding of how the universe is structured. It is a place where the expected rules of galaxy formation seem to break down, leaving behind an ocean of nothingness. But what if this void is not just a passive absence of matter? What if it tells us something profound about the past, present, and future of the cosmos? If we assume that the Boötes Void is not an accident, but rather a clue to something larger, then the question becomes, what force or process could have created such an enormous cosmic gap? One possibility that has been debated among astrophysicists is the idea of cosmic void mergers. This theory suggests that voids in the universe are not static, but dynamic structures that grow over time. In the early universe, space was filled with small fluctuations in density. Some regions had slightly more matter, while others had slightly less. Over billions of years, gravity pulled matter into dense regions, forming galaxies and galaxy clusters, while less dense regions expanded, becoming voids. But what if these voids are not simply growing but also merging with each other? If smaller voids gradually combined over time, they could have formed the Boötes Void as we see it today. Instead of one single process removing galaxies from this region, it could be the result of a slow, natural expansion of emptiness, where smaller voids collapsed into each other, creating an even larger cosmic desert. This idea raises another question: how big can these voids get? If the Boötes Void is still expanding, will it eventually consume nearby galaxies? Is it possible that, over time, voids like this could dominate the entire universe, leaving behind a cosmos where only isolated pockets of matter remain? If so, then we may be witnessing the earliest stages of a transformation that will reshape the universe on a scale beyond comprehension. But there's an even stranger possibility. What if the Boötes Void isn't just expanding because of the natural motion of galaxies? What if it is being actively pushed outward by an unknown force? This brings us to one of the most bizarre and speculative ideas in modern physics: the concept of repulsive gravity. In our everyday experience, gravity is always attractive, it pulls objects together. But what if, under certain extreme conditions, gravity could behave in the opposite way? Some theoretical physicists have suggested that in regions of extremely low matter density, space itself might behave differently than we expect. Instead of being a passive void, the Boötes Void could be a place where space is expanding at a faster rate than normal, effectively repelling nearby matter. If this is true, then the Boötes Void is not just empty, it is actively driving galaxies away, creating an ever-growing bubble of nothingness. This idea ties into another mystery: the accelerating expansion of the universe. As mentioned earlier, dark energy is thought to be responsible for pushing galaxies apart at an ever-increasing rate. But what if dark energy is not uniform throughout space? What if certain regions have stronger or weaker concentrations of this mysterious force? If the Boötes Void is an area where dark energy is particularly strong, then it could be a localized zone of extreme expansion, an isolated bubble where the effects of dark energy are amplified. If this is the case, then we might be looking at the first clear evidence that dark energy is not spread evenly throughout the universe, but instead behaves in a much more complex way than we currently understand. This could also have profound implications for the fate of the universe. If dark energy varies across space, then some regions might expand faster than others, leading to a future where certain areas of the cosmos become completely unreachable. Could the Boötes Void be the first sign that different parts of the universe will evolve in radically different ways? If so, then we may be entering an era where our cosmic neighborhood becomes more isolated, with vast stretches of space becoming permanently cut off from one another. But perhaps the strangest possibility of all is that the Boötes Void is not a natural phenomenon at all. Could it be an artificial structure? This idea may seem far-fetched, but consider this: if an advanced civilization had the ability to manipulate cosmic structures on a massive scale, what would they do with such power? One possibility is that they might want to create a vast, empty region of space for some unknown purpose. One theory that has been proposed is that an advanced civilization might clear out a region of space in order to build a Dyson sphere on an enormous scale, not just around a single star, but around an entire galaxy, or even multiple galaxies. If a civilization were capable of dismantling entire galaxies to harvest their energy, then the Boötes Void could be the result of such an effort. Another possibility is that the void is a kind of quarantine zone, an area that has been intentionally cleared of matter for reasons beyond our understanding. If a civilization wanted to hide something, or even contain a dangerous force, they might remove all galaxies from a particular region of space, leaving behind only emptiness. And then there's the possibility that the Boötes Void is a gateway, an opening to something beyond our universe. Some theories suggest that our universe is just one of many, existing within a vast multiverse. If this is true, then voids like Boötes might be places where the boundaries between universes are thin, regions where the fabric of reality itself is weaker than normal. Could the Boötes Void be a cosmic scar left behind by an event where two universes once collided? Could it be a passageway to another realm of existence, hidden just beyond the limits of our perception? If so, then the Boötes Void is not just an empty patch of space. It is something far more mysterious, something that may hold the key to understanding the true nature of reality itself. Whatever the true explanation may be, one thing is certain: the Boötes Void is not just another empty region of space. It is a cosmic enigma, a challenge to our understanding of the universe, and a reminder that, no matter how much we learn, there will always be mysteries that defy explanation. And perhaps that is what makes the Boötes Void so fascinating. It is a reminder that the universe is still full of secrets, waiting to be uncovered. It is a symbol of the unknown, a question mark written across the sky. And as long as we continue to explore, to question, and to seek answers, the mysteries of space will never truly be empty. The Boötes Void is one of those cosmic anomalies that forces us to reconsider our understanding of the universe. It is so vast, so profoundly empty, that it challenges the very fabric of cosmology. But beyond its physical characteristics, what does it mean? Could it be telling us something about the structure of the cosmos that we haven't yet figured out? One of the most fascinating aspects of the Boötes Void is how it relates to the overall distribution of galaxies. The universe, as we understand it, follows a large-scale structure known as the cosmic web. This web is made up of massive clusters of galaxies connected by filaments of dark matter and ordinary matter, with vast empty voids in between. But the Boötes Void is different. It is larger than what our models predict a void should be, and it is much emptier than expected. While smaller voids contain some galaxies, the Boötes Void has almost nothing. This raises the question, is it an extreme outlier, or does it suggest a gap in our understanding? One possible explanation is that this void is a remnant of an unusual early universe event. If we rewind the clock to the earliest moments after the Big Bang, we find a time when the universe was hot, dense, and nearly uniform. However, tiny quantum fluctuations led to some regions becoming slightly denser than others. Over billions of years, gravity magnified these differences, leading to the formation of galaxies, clusters, and voids. But what if the Boötes Void is the result of an early event that caused an extreme lack of density in that region? Some cosmologists have suggested that certain regions of the early universe may have experienced rapid inflation at slightly different rates. If a particular region expanded more than others, it could have ended up with far less matter. This could explain why the Boötes Void is so unusually empty. It might be a relic of an early expansion anomaly. If true, this could provide important clues about how inflation shaped the universe. But this theory also introduces a disturbing possibility. What if the Boötes Void is not unique? What if there are other regions of the universe that have been similarly affected? Could there be even larger voids that we have yet to discover? If so, this would suggest that the universe is far less uniform than we once thought. This leads to another question. Could the Boötes Void be an example of something even stranger? A cosmic scale void in the fabric of reality itself? Some physicists have proposed that the universe may have hidden dimensions or be part of a larger multiverse. If this is the case, then voids like Boötes might not just be empty of galaxies. They could be areas where the fundamental structure of space-time itself is different. Some theories propose that the universe might have defects, regions where the laws of physics behave differently. If the Boötes Void is one of these defects, it might be a place where fundamental forces act in an unusual way. Could this be why galaxies are seemingly pushed away from it? Could it be a region where the effects of dark energy are amplified, accelerating the expansion of space at a faster rate than the surrounding universe? This idea, while speculative, aligns with the notion that dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe, may not be uniform across space. If dark energy is stronger in some regions than others, then vast voids like Boötes might be growing faster than expected, eventually engulfing nearby galaxies. This could mean that over time, these voids will merge, creating even larger empty regions until the entire universe is dominated by nothingness. But what if the Boötes Void is not simply a passive structure? What if it is evidence of something even more radical, evidence that our universe is not as stable as we think? Some models of cosmology suggest that the universe exists in a false vacuum state, meaning that it is not in its most stable possible configuration. If this is the case, then a sufficiently large disturbance could trigger a phase transition, collapsing our universe into a new state of reality. Could the Boötes Void be a sign that such a transition has already begun? If the laws of physics are slightly different inside the void, it could indicate that this region has already undergone a shift in the fundamental nature of space-time. If so, then it is possible that this process is still expanding, like a bubble slowly growing within the larger universe. This idea is deeply unsettling because it suggests that the universe might not be as permanent as we assume. If phase transitions can occur on cosmic scales, then the Boötes Void might be an early warning sign of something far greater, something that could one day affect the entire universe. Alternatively, the Boötes Void could be a sign of something far more exotic, evidence of a universe that has been shaped by intelligent forces. While this might sound like science fiction, some scientists have seriously considered the idea that advanced civilizations, if they exist, might be capable of manipulating space on a grand scale. If an advanced civilization had the technology to control matter and energy on a galactic level, what would they do with such power? One possibility is that they might remove entire galaxies for reasons beyond our understanding. Perhaps they are using the mass of these galaxies for an enormous energy project. Or perhaps they are clearing out an area for some unknown purpose. This leads to an even stranger thought. Could the Boötes Void be an artificial structure? If so, what would it be used for? One possibility is that it could be a containment zone, a region of space that has been deliberately emptied to keep something inside. If a civilization discovered a force or entity that posed a threat on a cosmic scale, they might create a void as a kind of prison, isolating whatever is inside from the rest of the universe. But if this is true, then what could be inside the void? Could it be a region of space where the rules of physics have broken down? A place where time and space behave differently than we expect? Or could it be something even more mysterious, something that has been hidden away, waiting to be discovered? The more we learn about the Boötes Void, the more questions it raises. It is not just an empty region of space. It is a challenge to everything we think we know about the universe. It is a reminder that, despite all our advancements in science, there are still vast mysteries lurking in the cosmos, waiting to be uncovered. Perhaps, one day, we will have the technology to explore the void directly, to send probes into its depths and see what lies beyond the darkness. But until that day comes, the Boötes Void will remain one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, a cosmic riddle waiting to be solved. The idea that the Boötes Void could be more than just an absence of galaxies leads us to some of the most radical and mind-bending theories in modern cosmology. What if the void is not just a natural consequence of cosmic evolution, but something that hints at a deeper structure of reality? Could it be evidence of forces or processes we have yet to understand? One theory that has been proposed is that the Boötes Void could be a relic of a collision between our universe and another universe. The idea of a multiverse, a vast collection of parallel universes existing beyond our own, is a topic that has gained traction in physics. Some models suggest that our universe may be just one bubble in a larger cosmic foam, with other bubble universes forming, expanding, and sometimes colliding. If another universe had collided with ours in the distant past, it could have left behind a region where matter was displaced or even erased. This could explain why the Boötes Void is so unusually empty. It might be a scar from a cosmic event beyond our comprehension. But if this is the case, what does that mean for our universe? Could another collision happen in the future? If so, would it be a gentle merging of realities, or a catastrophic event that rewrites the fabric of existence? The implications of this are staggering. If voids like Boötes are remnants of past cosmic collisions, then they could be windows into the fundamental nature of reality itself. They might hold clues about the structure of spacetime, the nature of dark energy, and even the ultimate fate of the universe. But what if the Boötes Void is not the result of a past event, but a sign of something still happening? Some researchers have suggested that the void could be an expanding region of space where matter is being pulled away, possibly due to an unknown force or an interaction with something beyond our observable universe. If this is true, then the Boötes Void might not be a static feature, it could be growing. Imagine if the emptiness is expanding, consuming galaxies at its edges, erasing them from existence. This would be unlike anything we have ever observed. It would suggest that voids are not just passive gaps in the cosmic web, but active zones where something unknown is at work. Could it be that space itself is unraveling in this region? Could the laws of physics be breaking down, leading to an ever-expanding nothingness? This raises a disturbing possibility. What if the Boötes Void is a preview of the future of the entire universe? The universe is already expanding due to dark energy. But if there are regions where this expansion is happening at an accelerated rate, then voids like Boötes might be the first signs of a future where everything is eventually torn apart. Some cosmologists believe in a theory called the Big Rip, where dark energy becomes so strong that it eventually overcomes all forces, tearing galaxies, stars, and even atoms apart. If the Boötes Void is an area where this process is happening at an advanced stage, then it might be a glimpse into what will eventually happen everywhere. But there is another possibility, one that is even more unsettling. What if the Boötes Void is not naturally occurring at all? What if it is an artificial creation? This idea might sound extreme, but consider the possibilities. If an advanced civilization had access to technology beyond anything we can imagine, what would they do with it? One possibility is that they could engineer space itself. They might be able to move stars, reshape galaxies, or even create voids for reasons we cannot yet understand. If this were true, then the Boötes Void might not be empty by accident. It might have been deliberately cleared out. But why? One idea is that an advanced civilization might remove stars and galaxies to create a giant cosmic observatory, a region of pure darkness where they can study the deepest mysteries of the universe without interference. Another possibility is that the void is a remnant of an enormous cosmic project, something beyond our comprehension. If a civilization had the ability to harness the energy of entire galaxies, they might have stripped the void of matter to fuel something even greater, a structure, a machine, or even a gateway to another part of the universe. And then there is the most unsettling idea of all. What if the Boötes Void is not empty, but simply hiding something? Our telescopes detect galaxies by the light they emit, but what if something exists in the void that does not emit light? What if it is home to something we cannot yet perceive, something vast, ancient, and completely unknown? Dark matter, the mysterious substance that makes up most of the mass in the universe, does not emit light. Could there be an enormous concentration of dark matter in the Boötes Void, forming structures we cannot see? Could the void be home to exotic objects beyond our understanding? Or, more disturbingly, could it be a place where something exists that is beyond our ability to detect? A region of space that does not behave according to the normal rules of physics? If so, what would happen if we sent a probe into it? Would it simply vanish? Would the laws of physics themselves change inside the void? The Boötes Void challenges everything we think we know about the universe. It is not just an empty region of space, it is a cosmic enigma, a riddle written across hundreds of millions of light years. It forces us to question our understanding of cosmology, dark matter, dark energy, and even the possibility of other universes. Perhaps one day, we will have the technology to explore it directly. Perhaps we will send spacecraft into its depths and uncover its secrets. But until that day comes, the Boötes Void will remain one of the greatest and most haunting mysteries of the cosmos. If we ever manage to explore the Boötes Void directly, the discoveries we make there could change everything we know about the universe. But how would we even begin such an exploration? The void is hundreds of millions of light years away, making it nearly impossible to reach with current technology. Even if we sent a probe traveling at the speed of light, it would take hundreds of millions of years just to arrive. But what if there were other ways to study it? One possibility is that future telescopes, far more powerful than anything we have today, could reveal hidden details about the void. Maybe there is something inside it that we simply can't detect with current instruments. Advanced radio telescopes, infrared sensors, or even gravitational wave detectors could reveal whether the void is truly empty, or if it hides something strange. Another approach would be to study how light bends around the void. If the Boötes Void contains dark matter, we might be able to detect its presence by looking at the way light from distant galaxies curves as it passes through. If we find unusual distortions, it could mean that something invisible is lurking in the void. But what if we could do more than just observe? What if we could create technology that allows us to send signals into the void and analyze what comes back? Right now, we use radio waves to search for extraterrestrial signals. But what if we designed a completely new type of communication? Something that interacts with the very structure of spacetime itself. Could we send out a signal and receive an answer from something inside the void? And then there is the most ambitious possibility. What if we could travel there? Right now, intergalactic travel is purely science fiction, but that could change. Some theories suggest that wormholes, tunnels through space-time, might exist, allowing for near-instantaneous travel between distant points in the universe. If we ever develop the ability to create and control wormholes, we might be able to send a spacecraft directly into the heart of the Boötes Void. But what would we find if we got there? Would we simply confirm that the void is empty? Or would we discover something so bizarre that it forces us to rethink the laws of physics? What if the void isn't just a place, but a phenomenon, something that doesn't just exist in space, but affects the very nature of reality itself? Some have speculated that the void could be connected to ideas from quantum mechanics, the branch of physics that deals with the smallest particles in the universe. In quantum mechanics, empty space isn't truly empty. It constantly fluctuates with tiny bursts of energy. Could the Boötes Void be a macroscopic version of this effect, a vast cosmic fluctuation that somehow prevents galaxies from forming? Or could it be something even stranger, an area of the universe where different physical laws apply? Some physicists have theorized that the laws of physics might not be the same everywhere in the universe. What if the Boötes Void is a region where gravity, time, or even the fundamental forces of nature work differently? If that is the case, entering the void could be extremely dangerous. A spacecraft that crosses into it might find that time flows differently, or that space itself bends in ways we can't predict. If the fundamental constants of physics are different inside the void, even basic things like atoms and molecules might behave unpredictably. And then there's the most unsettling possibility of all. What if the Boötes Void isn't just empty space, but a warning? What if something once existed there, and it was erased? Could it be that some ancient cosmic event, perhaps a force beyond our understanding, wiped out whatever used to exist in the void? This idea leads to an even darker question. Could the same thing happen elsewhere? Could there be forces in the universe capable of destroying entire regions of space, leaving behind nothing but emptiness? And if so, is it possible that we could one day suffer the same fate? The Boötes Void remains one of the most perplexing and haunting mysteries in the cosmos. It is a reminder that, despite all our progress in understanding the universe, there are still vast unknowns waiting to be explored. It challenges our assumptions, forces us to ask difficult questions, and pushes us to expand our understanding of reality. Perhaps one day, we will unlock its secrets. But until then, the Boötes Void will remain one of the greatest cosmic enigmas, a vast, silent mystery lurking in the depths of space, daring us to uncover the truth. The idea that the Boötes Void could be a remnant of something erased from existence is deeply unsettling. If this were true, it would suggest that some unknown force or process is capable of wiping out entire galaxies without a trace. But what kind of force could do that? Could it be something natural, like a massive energy event, or something far more mysterious? One of the most radical ideas is that the void could be evidence of a past collision between universes. Some physicists propose that our universe might be just one of many in a vast multiverse. If two universes were to collide or interact in some way, the effects could be catastrophic, perhaps even erasing entire regions of space. Maybe the Boötes Void is a scar left behind from such a cosmic event, a place where the very fabric of reality was altered in a way we don't yet understand. This theory raises even more unsettling questions. If such collisions have happened before, could they happen again? Could another universe one day smash into ours, wiping out entire galaxies in an instant? And if so, is there any way to predict or prevent it? Then there's another possibility, one that strays even further into speculation. What if the void is the result of something artificial? Some scientists and science fiction writers have considered the idea that incredibly advanced civilizations, far beyond anything we can imagine, might be capable of reshaping the universe on a massive scale. Could it be that an unknown intelligence once occupied this region of space and did something to remove itself from existence? This leads to an even wilder question. What if the void isn't a sign of destruction, but of construction? What if an ancient civilization created a vast, hidden structure within the void, something so advanced that it doesn't interact with normal matter or energy in any way we can detect? There's also the idea that the Boötes Void could be a kind of cosmic quarantine zone, a place intentionally left empty, either by nature or by design. If it was created artificially, the obvious question is why. Could it be that something dangerous exists beyond our ability to perceive, something that must be contained within this vast region of nothingness? All of these theories, while fascinating, remain purely speculative. We simply don't have enough data to determine what the void truly is. But that doesn't mean we aren't trying to find answers. Astronomers are constantly refining their observations, searching for new clues that might help unravel this mystery. One promising area of research is the study of cosmic microwave background radiation, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang that fills the entire universe. By analyzing tiny fluctuations in this background radiation, scientists might be able to detect subtle hints about what caused the Boötes Void to form. Another approach involves studying the motion of galaxies around the void. If the void is truly empty, then the gravitational pull from surrounding galaxies should create noticeable distortions. By measuring these distortions, we could learn more about the structure of the void and whether it contains any hidden mass, such as dark matter. There's also the possibility of detecting extremely faint, distant objects within the void. Some astronomers believe that there could be ancient, dim galaxies hidden deep within the void that we simply haven't been able to see yet. With next-generation telescopes, like the James Webb Space Telescope and its successors, we might finally be able to peer deeper into the void than ever before. But even if we do find galaxies within the Boötes Void, that still wouldn't fully explain its existence. Why is it so much emptier than other parts of the universe? What forces shaped it into what it is today? And what, if anything, does it tell us about the fundamental nature of reality? The more we study the Boötes Void, the more it challenges our understanding of the cosmos. It forces us to confront deep questions about the structure of the universe, the possibility of unknown forces at work, and even the limits of human knowledge. It reminds us that, no matter how much we learn, the universe is still filled with mysteries waiting to be solved. Perhaps, one day, we will uncover the truth about the Boötes Void. But until then, it remains one of the greatest unanswered questions in modern astronomy, a vast, eerie reminder that the universe is far more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. The Boötes Void stands as one of the most perplexing enigmas in the observable universe, an unfathomably vast region where the usual cosmic tapestry of stars, galaxies, and nebulae appears to be eerily absent. It is not merely an ordinary empty space. It is a void so incomprehensibly large that it challenges the very way we understand cosmic structure. If one were to travel across it at the speed of light, it would take hundreds of millions of years to traverse its seemingly endless expanse of nothingness. This abyss of darkness, spanning nearly 330 million light-years in diameter, is so large that, if it were centered on our own galaxy, the entire local galactic neighborhood, including the Milky Way, Andromeda, and hundreds of other galaxies, would be swallowed within its vast emptiness. But how can something so colossal, so mind-bendingly empty, exist in a universe where galaxies and galaxy clusters typically group together in intricate, web-like patterns? What forces, if any, shaped this abyss into what it is today? The discovery of the Boötes Void was met with deep astonishment and a lingering sense of unease among astronomers. In a cosmos filled with dynamic interactions, gravitational forces, and immense cosmic structures stretching for billions of light-years, the existence of such a vast nothingness seemed almost unnatural. Galaxies are not randomly scattered across space. They typically align themselves along vast cosmic filaments, forming enormous clusters and superclusters, interconnected in a web-like structure known as the cosmic web. Voids, the empty spaces between these filaments, are common in the universe, but they are usually small and irregularly shaped, mere pockets of lower-density regions within the greater structure. The Boötes Void, however, defies all expectations. Its size and emptiness are so extreme that it is often described as a supervoid, something that should not exist at this scale under our current understanding of cosmic evolution. The sheer improbability of the Boötes Void has led to a multitude of theories attempting to explain its origin. One of the most widely accepted hypotheses is that it formed through the gradual merging of smaller voids over billions of years. In this scenario, multiple less empty regions coalesce due to the natural expansion of the universe, creating an unusually vast region devoid of galaxies. This process, known as void merging, is thought to occur as matter flows away from underdense regions and is pulled toward denser filaments by gravitational forces. But even if this explanation holds, it still does not fully account for the sheer scale of the Boötes Void. If standard cosmic evolution alone were responsible, then we should see many more supervoids of similar size across the universe. But we don't. This makes the Boötes Void an exceptional outlier, one that demands deeper investigation. Another possibility is that the void is not truly empty but instead filled with something we cannot yet detect, perhaps an enormous concentration of dark matter. Dark matter, the mysterious, invisible substance that makes up most of the universe's mass, does not emit light or radiation, making it nearly impossible to detect directly. If an enormous mass of dark matter exists within the Boötes Void, it could theoretically explain why so few visible galaxies are present. However, this hypothesis raises even more questions. Why would dark matter be concentrated in this particular region? And why wouldn't it gravitationally attract visible galaxies to form inside it, as happens in other parts of the universe? The lack of any noticeable gravitational lensing effects, a phenomenon where gravity bends the path of light from distant objects, suggests that the void is not hiding an enormous dark matter mass. Then there are the more radical theories, those that push the boundaries of conventional astrophysics. Some physicists have speculated that the Boötes Void might be a region of space where the fundamental laws of physics themselves operate differently. If this were the case, then normal matter, such as stars and galaxies, might be unable to form or exist within its boundaries. Perhaps the void is a remnant of some ancient cosmic event that altered the very fabric of space-time in this region, leaving behind an area where ordinary physics breaks down in ways we cannot yet comprehend. This leads to an even more unsettling question: what kind of event could cause such an anomaly on this scale? Could it have been a relic of an earlier universe, a remnant from before the Big Bang, or even a sign of an interdimensional phenomenon beyond our current understanding? Some have even proposed that the Boötes Void could be evidence of a cosmic bubble in the fabric of reality itself, an area where a different vacuum state exists compared to the rest of the universe. In certain interpretations of quantum mechanics and string theory, our universe might be just one of many possible vacuum states, each governed by different fundamental forces and constants. If a different vacuum state existed within the Boötes Void, it might prevent galaxies from forming inside it, effectively creating an enormous cosmic hole in the universe. This idea, while highly speculative, aligns with certain theoretical predictions about how the universe's vacuum energy might behave on cosmic scales. Another mind-bending possibility is that the Boötes Void could be evidence of an ancient intergalactic catastrophe, one that erased entire civilizations, galaxies, and cosmic structures. Could it be that something once existed in this vast emptiness but was somehow destroyed? If so, what could have caused such an event? Some theorists have speculated about the possibility of vacuum decay, a hypothetical process in which a lower-energy vacuum state suddenly expands, consuming everything in its path and rewriting the fundamental structure of space itself. If such an event had ever occurred in the Boötes Void, it would have left behind precisely what we see today, a region of space where nothing recognizable remains. But the most chilling idea of all is the possibility that the void is not a natural feature of the cosmos, but something created intentionally. What if it is a sign of some unknown intelligence, something capable of reshaping the universe on an unimaginable scale? Some have speculated that highly advanced civilizations, capable of harnessing energies beyond anything we can conceive, might have been able to manipulate space on a cosmic level. Could it be that the Boötes Void is the result of such a civilization? If so, why would they create a void of such magnitude? Was it an experiment? A means of isolation? Or something even more unfathomable? The implications of these ideas stretch far beyond our current understanding of the universe. If the Boötes Void is a product of forces or entities beyond our comprehension, then we must reconsider everything we think we know about cosmic evolution. It could be a message, a scar, or a warning, one that we have yet to decipher. For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the most hauntingly empty places in the universe, a reminder that, despite all our advancements, there are still vast cosmic mysteries we have yet to unravel. It is a void not just in space, but in knowledge, an open question that continues to challenge astronomers, physicists, and philosophers alike. Perhaps one day, with future advancements in technology and physics, we will finally unlock its secrets. But until that day comes, the Boötes Void will remain what it has always been, a vast, silent enigma in the depths of space, daring us to understand the unknowable. The Boötes Void is more than just an absence of galaxies. It is a cosmic paradox, a vast and lonely expanse that seems to defy everything we know about the large-scale structure of the universe. As astronomers have studied it further, they've realized that its implications stretch far beyond mere emptiness. The fact that such a massive void exists challenges the fundamental principles of cosmology, making us question whether our current models of the universe's formation and evolution are truly complete. Could this void be the key to uncovering hidden forces at work in the cosmos, forces we have yet to fully understand? One of the most perplexing aspects of the Boötes Void is just how improbably large it is. In the standard model of cosmology, the universe is structured in a vast web of galaxies, with voids naturally forming between the dense clusters of matter. These voids, however, are typically much smaller, mere gaps between the filaments of galactic superclusters. The Boötes Void, in contrast, is an anomaly, an extreme outlier in terms of size and emptiness. If we were to scatter galaxies randomly across the universe, the probability of such a massive region remaining almost entirely empty is staggeringly low. This has led some researchers to suspect that something unusual must have happened here, something that caused this particular region of space to develop in a way that is radically different from the rest of the universe. Theories attempting to explain the void range from the conventional to the extraordinary. One widely discussed idea is that it formed through a process known as cosmic evacuation, in which matter was drawn away from this region over billions of years due to the gravitational pull of denser regions nearby. This idea is somewhat plausible, as we know that gravity naturally causes matter to clump together over time, forming galaxies and clusters while leaving behind lower density regions. However, this does not fully explain why the Boötes Void is so much larger than any other known void. If this process were responsible, we would expect to see other voids of comparable size scattered across the universe, but we don't. Another idea suggests that the void may have once contained galaxies that have since disappeared, perhaps due to an ancient cosmic scale event that wiped them out or made them undetectable. While this theory is intriguing, it raises even more questions. What kind of event could erase galaxies on such an enormous scale? Could it be that some unknown astrophysical phenomenon, perhaps related to dark energy or exotic physics, played a role in shaping the void? Or is it possible that the galaxies in this region are still there, but hidden in a way we cannot yet perceive? Some astronomers have speculated that the Boötes Void might be home to an unusual distribution of dark matter, the mysterious substance that makes up most of the universe's mass but does not emit light. If an exceptionally dense concentration of dark matter exists within the void, it could theoretically suppress the formation of visible galaxies, creating the illusion of emptiness. However, observations have yet to find definitive evidence for such an explanation. If dark matter were responsible, we would expect to see its gravitational effects bending the light from distant objects, yet so far, no such distortions have been detected. This suggests that if dark matter is involved, it must be behaving in an unusual and poorly understood way. Then there are the more exotic hypotheses, ideas that push the boundaries of mainstream physics and venture into the realm of speculation. Some scientists have entertained the notion that the Boötes Void could be a scar left by an ancient cosmic collision, perhaps between different regions of the early universe that had slightly different physical properties. If our universe went through a period of rapid inflation in its earliest moments, then different regions of space might have evolved at different rates, leading to inconsistencies in the large-scale structure of the cosmos. The Boötes Void could be a remnant of such an inconsistency, a place where the early universe evolved in a fundamentally different way, leaving behind a region that is starkly devoid of matter. Another radical idea is that the void could be evidence of a bubble in the fabric of the cosmos itself, a region where the fundamental laws of physics operate differently from the rest of the universe. In certain models of the multiverse, our universe is just one of many possible pocket universes, each with its own unique physical constants. If the Boötes Void were the result of a collision between our universe and another, then it might explain why this region seems so anomalously empty. Could it be that this vast expanse is not truly part of our universe at all, but rather a place where the boundary between different realities becomes blurred? Even more speculative is the idea that the void might be artificial in some way, a sign of an advanced civilization operating on a scale beyond anything we can comprehend. If a sufficiently advanced extraterrestrial civilization existed, one capable of manipulating entire galaxies, then they might have intentionally cleared out a region of space for some unknown purpose. Perhaps the void represents a kind of cosmic engineering project, a vast structure created to serve some unfathomable function. Or perhaps it is a quarantine zone, a region of space deliberately left empty for reasons we cannot yet understand. While this idea may sound like science fiction, it is not entirely without precedent. Some scientists have proposed that truly advanced civilizations might reshape entire galaxies or even alter the structure of space itself to suit their needs. Could the Boötes Void be an example of such large-scale cosmic manipulation? For now, the true nature of the Boötes Void remains a mystery. It is one of the most extreme and perplexing anomalies in the known universe, a place where our understanding of cosmic structure seems to break down. Whether it is the result of natural cosmic evolution, an exotic physical process, or something even stranger, one thing is certain: the void challenges our perception of reality itself. As technology advances and our ability to probe the depths of the cosmos improves, we may one day uncover the truth behind this vast expanse of nothingness. But until that day comes, the Boötes Void remains one of the most haunting enigmas in all of astronomy, a silent and unfathomable abyss in the fabric of the universe. The Boötes Void stretches across the universe like an unfathomable wound in the cosmic fabric, an expanse so vast and empty that its very existence seems to defy the fundamental principles of the universe itself. The deeper astronomers peer into its depths, the more questions arise. Questions that not only challenge our understanding of the cosmos but force us to confront the possibility that the universe may be far more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. What makes the Boötes Void so haunting is not simply its size, but the eerie sense of absence it represents. The universe, as far as we understand it, is a place of structure, a grand web of galaxies, stars, and cosmic filaments stretching across billions of light years. Yet here, in this massive stretch of space, there is almost nothing. This kind of extreme emptiness is not something we would expect to see in a universe governed by the known laws of physics. To understand why the Boötes Void is so baffling, we must consider the fundamental forces that shape the cosmos. Gravity is the primary architect of the universe's large-scale structure, pulling matter together to form galaxies, clusters, and superclusters. Over billions of years, gravity sculpts the cosmic web, creating dense regions where galaxies cluster together, and leaving behind empty voids where matter is scarce. However, even the largest known voids still contain galaxies, just at much lower densities than surrounding regions. The Boötes Void, by contrast, is so empty that it appears almost as if something has actively removed matter from this region, leaving behind a gaping cosmic scar. One of the leading conventional explanations is that the Boötes Void is the result of cosmic evacuation, a process where gravitational interactions between galaxies gradually push matter out of low-density regions and toward denser cosmic filaments. Over billions of years, smaller voids could have merged into a single larger void, creating the vast emptiness we see today. However, this theory alone does not fully account for the sheer scale and uniformity of the Boötes Void. If gravitational evacuation were the sole explanation, we would expect to see a more irregular structure, with clumps of galaxies scattered throughout the void. The Boötes Void, however, is remarkably smooth, with only a handful of galaxies clinging to its distant edges. Another possibility is that the Boötes Void is a region of suppressed galaxy formation, where the density of dark matter is unusually low. Dark matter, the invisible substance that makes up roughly 85% of the universe's mass, plays a crucial role in the formation of galaxies. Without dark matter, ordinary matter would not have enough gravitational pull to collapse into galaxies and stars. If the Boötes Void is a region where dark matter is unusually scarce, then galaxy formation might have been suppressed from the very beginning. However, this raises an even deeper question. Why would dark matter be distributed so unevenly across the universe? Could the void be evidence of an ancient cosmic event that altered the distribution of dark matter on a massive scale? If the Boötes Void is the result of some unknown force acting on dark matter, it could represent one of the first direct pieces of evidence that dark matter is not as uniformly distributed as we assume. Such a discovery would revolutionize our understanding of how galaxies form and how the universe evolves. It might even hint at the existence of exotic new particles or forces that have yet to be discovered, hidden aspects of the universe that lie just beyond the limits of our current knowledge. But there is another, far more unsettling possibility. What if the void is not simply the result of natural processes, but the result of something far more deliberate? Some researchers have speculated that the Boötes Void could be an artificial structure, evidence of an ancient, hyper-advanced civilization capable of reshaping entire regions of space. This idea is not as far-fetched as it might seem. Theoretical physicist Nikolai Kardashev proposed a system for classifying advanced civilizations based on their ability to harness energy. A Type 1 civilization would be capable of using all the energy available on its home planet. A Type 2 civilization would be able to harness the energy of its entire star system. A Type 3 civilization, however, would be capable of controlling the energy output of an entire galaxy. Such a civilization could theoretically rearrange entire regions of space, dismantling stars and galaxies to fuel their technology. If such a civilization ever existed, the Boötes Void could be one of their creations, a region of space that was intentionally cleared out for reasons beyond our understanding. Perhaps they were building some kind of massive cosmic structure, or perhaps they were creating a zone of total isolation to shield themselves from detection. If so, then the void might not be empty at all. It might contain vast megastructures hidden beyond the reach of our telescopes, artificial constructs built on scales that dwarf anything we can currently imagine. This theory, while highly speculative, raises profound questions about the nature of advanced civilizations. If the Boötes Void is evidence of cosmic engineering, then what happened to the beings who created it? Are they still out there, observing the universe from the safety of their empty fortress? Or did they transcend their physical forms, leaving behind only a scar in the fabric of space-time as a testament to their existence? Another possibility is that the void could be a form of cosmic quarantine, an area intentionally cleared out to contain something dangerous. What if, billions of years ago, a civilization discovered something so powerful or so destructive that they had no choice but to isolate it? The Boötes Void could be a kind of cosmic prison, a region where the normal rules of physics have been altered to prevent whatever lies within from escaping. If this were true, then the void would not just be an absence of galaxies, it would be a warning. There is also the haunting notion that the void could be growing. What if the Boötes Void is not a static feature, but an expanding region where galaxies are gradually being erased? Some physicists have speculated that dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe, could behave differently in certain regions of space. If dark energy were stronger within the Boötes Void, it might be pushing matter away at an accelerated rate, slowly hollowing out the cosmos from within. If this process is still happening, then the Boötes Void could be a glimpse into the far future of the universe, a preview of a time when all galaxies will be isolated in an ever-expanding sea of nothingness. For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the universe's greatest unsolved mysteries. Its vast emptiness stretches across hundreds of millions of light-years, daring us to explain its existence. Is it a natural consequence of cosmic evolution? A relic of ancient forces we cannot yet comprehend? Or is it something far stranger, a scar left by an intelligence so advanced that it no longer needs to leave any visible trace? Whatever the truth may be, the Boötes Void serves as a humbling reminder of how little we truly understand about the cosmos. It is a silent, haunting abyss in the night sky, a dark rift that challenges the limits of human knowledge and forces us to confront the possibility that there are forces at work in the universe that we cannot yet imagine. As our telescopes grow more powerful and our understanding of the universe deepens, perhaps one day we will unlock the secrets hidden within the void. Until then, the Boötes Void remains a cosmic riddle, one of the greatest and most unsettling mysteries in the entire universe. The Boötes Void is not just an empty space in the cosmos, it is a gaping wound in the very structure of the universe, a vast absence where something should be. And the more we look at it, the stranger it becomes. If the universe were a painting, it would be filled with intricate strokes of light, galaxies splashed across the cosmic canvas in delicate, interconnected patterns. Yet here, in the Boötes Void, there is almost nothing. The sheer scale of this void, stretching over 330 million light-years in diameter, defies our understanding of how the universe should behave. Scientists have spent decades trying to explain it, but every answer seems to lead to even more unsettling questions. One of the most perplexing aspects of the Boötes Void is its sheer uniformity. In most voids, you would still expect to find some stray galaxies, remnants of cosmic evolution scattered sparsely throughout. But in the Boötes Void, galaxies are eerily absent. The handful that have been detected within its boundaries are clustered near the edges, as if something has actively pushed them away from the center. This is not normal. Galaxies don't simply move away from an area without some kind of force acting upon them. This brings us to one of the more exotic explanations for the Boötes Void, the idea that it could be evidence of a great repeller. This is a hypothetical concept in cosmology that suggests some regions of space might exert a repulsive force, pushing matter away rather than attracting it. Normally, gravity pulls matter together, forming galaxies, clusters, and superclusters. But what if, instead of a gravitational attractor, the Boötes Void represents the opposite, an anti-gravitational force that repels matter away? Some cosmologists speculate that this could be tied to dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. Dark energy is poorly understood, but it is believed to act in opposition to gravity, causing space itself to stretch over time. If the Boötes Void is a region where dark energy behaves differently, perhaps in a way that repels galaxies, then it could explain why this vast expanse remains so empty. But there's another possibility, one that is even more unsettling. What if the Boötes Void is not naturally occurring at all? What if something ancient, something beyond our comprehension, created it? This is where the idea of cosmic engineering comes into play. Some scientists and theorists have proposed that an advanced civilization, 1 millions or even billions of years older than humanity, could theoretically manipulate entire regions of space. If a civilization reached the level of a Kardashev Type 3, a civilization capable of harnessing the energy of entire galaxies, they could reshape the cosmos to suit their needs. One possibility is that the Boötes Void is the result of galactic harvesting, where an advanced civilization systematically dismantled entire galaxies for resources. This might sound like science fiction, but it is not beyond the realm of possibility. If an ultra-advanced species required immense amounts of energy, they could consume entire stars, breaking them down for their raw materials. Over millions of years, this process could clear out entire sections of the universe, leaving behind vast cosmic voids like Boötes. Another theory is that the void is a kind of artificial isolation zone, a deliberate quarantine of space. Imagine a civilization that has advanced to the point where it no longer wishes to be disturbed. They could use massive energy fields or gravitational manipulation to push away all surrounding matter, creating a region of total emptiness where no one could intrude. If so, then the Boötes Void might not be empty at all. It might be filled with structures or technologies beyond our understanding, hidden from detection by the very emptiness they have created. This idea is reinforced by the concept of the dark forest theory, which suggests that advanced civilizations in the universe might remain silent and hidden to avoid being detected by potentially hostile alien races. If a civilization wished to remain unseen, they might carve out a void like Boötes, removing all nearby galaxies to ensure that no stray signals or light would reveal their presence. But what if the Boötes Void is not a creation, but a consequence? What if it is the aftermath of something catastrophic? Something that wiped out entire galaxies, leaving nothing behind? There is a chilling idea in astrophysics known as a vacuum decay event. This is a theoretical doomsday scenario where a quantum fluctuation triggers the collapse of space itself. If our universe exists in what is called a false vacuum state, essentially a temporary and unstable form of reality, then it could one day collapse into a lower energy, true vacuum state. This would cause a bubble of destruction to expand at the speed of light, erasing everything in its path. If such an event had occurred in the past, it could have erased all matter within the Boötes Void, leaving only empty space behind. The galaxies at the edges of the void might be the survivors, stranded on the outskirts of a cosmic cataclysm that wiped out everything within. If this is true, then the Boötes Void is not just empty, it is a graveyard, the silent remnant of a disaster that consumed entire worlds. But there is one more possibility, one that is even more unnerving. What if the Boötes Void is not a relic of the past, but a glimpse into the future? The universe is expanding. Over time, galaxies are drifting farther and farther apart. In the distant future, this expansion will continue, and eventually, every galaxy will be isolated in a vast ocean of nothingness. If the Boötes Void represents an accelerated version of this process, if it is a preview of what the entire universe will one day become, then it serves as a haunting reminder of our own cosmic fate. Perhaps the Boötes Void is not just an anomaly. Perhaps it is the first sign of the universe's ultimate destiny, a future where all matter has been stretched so far apart that nothing remains but darkness and silence. If so, then we are staring into the abyss of time itself, glimpsing the end of everything long before it arrives. For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the greatest mysteries of the cosmos. It is an enigma that refuses to be explained, a vast and silent question mark in the night sky. Whether it is the result of natural forces, an ancient civilization, or something far stranger, one thing is certain: the void is watching, waiting, and reminding us of just how little we truly know about the universe. The Boötes Void stands as one of the most perplexing anomalies in the observable universe, a vast chasm where the rules of cosmic structure seem to break down. But what if the true nature of this void is even stranger than we can currently comprehend? What if the emptiness we observe is not just a lack of galaxies, but something entirely different, something beyond our understanding of physics, space, and time? When we look at the universe on large scales, we see a web-like structure. Galaxies are not randomly scattered but form clusters, filaments, and walls that stretch across the cosmos, separated by immense voids. But even among these voids, Boötes stands out as an extreme outlier. Most voids contain at least some galaxies, but Boötes is eerily empty. This is not just a statistical anomaly, it suggests that something fundamentally different happened here. One idea that has emerged is that the Boötes Void might not be a true void at all, but instead a region where the nature of space itself is different from the rest of the universe. Some theorists propose that this void could be a bubble of altered physics, a zone where the fundamental constants of nature have different values. If true, then entering this void might mean stepping into an entirely different reality, where the laws of motion, gravity, or even time itself do not function the way we expect. This concept aligns with certain ideas in string theory and quantum cosmology, where our universe is just one of many possible configurations of reality. If the Boötes Void represents a transition zone, where our universe's physical laws break down and another set takes over, then it could be a doorway to an entirely separate realm of existence. But if that's the case, then why does it appear so empty? Could it be that whatever exists within the void is simply invisible to us? This raises another unsettling possibility, that the Boötes Void is not truly empty, but instead filled with something we cannot see. The concept of dark matter is already well established in cosmology, an invisible substance that makes up most of the mass in the universe, yet interacts only weakly with ordinary matter. But what if the Boötes Void contains something even stranger than dark matter? Some researchers have speculated that the void could be home to exotic forms of matter or energy that do not interact with light in any way, making them completely undetectable by our telescopes. If an entire civilization or structure existed within the Boötes Void, but was composed of matter that neither emits nor absorbs light, we would never know it was there. This leads to the mind-bending idea that the void might not be empty at all, but instead densely populated with structures beyond human comprehension, an entire cosmic metropolis hidden in plain sight. One of the more radical interpretations is that the Boötes Void is a kind of cosmic cloaking device, an artificial construct designed to keep something hidden from view. If a sufficiently advanced civilization wanted to conceal itself on a galactic scale, it could theoretically manipulate space itself to create a zone where no detectable radiation escapes. By using a technology we cannot yet comprehend, such a civilization could erase its presence from the observable universe, leaving behind a region of apparent nothingness. But there's another, more disturbing question: what if the Boötes Void is not the result of something being hidden, but something being removed? Some scientists have proposed that massive voids like this could be the remnants of destructive processes that wiped out entire galactic clusters. One such possibility is the existence of cosmic vacuum decay events, where the fabric of space collapses into a lower energy state, destroying everything within it. If such an event had occurred in the past, it would have left behind a vast bubble of nothingness, just like what we see in the Boötes Void. Alternatively, some theorists have proposed that the void could be the signature of an ancient war on a cosmic scale. If advanced civilizations once existed in this region, and if they developed the capability to wield forces beyond our comprehension, it is possible that they engaged in a conflict that resulted in the total annihilation of all matter within the void. This would explain why there are only a few galaxies at the very edges, remnants of a once thriving cosmic neighborhood that was wiped clean by an event so catastrophic that it left a permanent scar on the structure of the universe. But if such a war took place, then who, or what, was fighting? And what could be powerful enough to erase entire galaxies? Could it be that some intelligence, far older than we can imagine, has been shaping the cosmos in ways we do not yet understand? Even more unsettling is the idea that the Boötes Void is still expanding. Some observations suggest that voids like this can grow over time, as galaxies are drawn away by surrounding gravitational forces. But what if the expansion of the Boötes Void is not just a natural process? What if it is the result of something actively consuming matter, slowly erasing everything in its path? If that is the case, then the galaxies at the edges of the void may not be survivors, but merely the next in line to disappear. What if the void is a kind of cosmic predator, an unseen force slowly devouring the universe, one region at a time? Could it be that in the distant future, more and more of the cosmos will vanish into similar voids, until nothing remains? For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the greatest unanswered questions in astrophysics. Every attempt to explain it only leads to deeper mysteries, and every new discovery about its structure challenges our understanding of the universe itself. Whether it is a natural anomaly, a remnant of an ancient catastrophe, or something even more bizarre, one thing is certain: the void is watching, silent and vast, a reminder that in the grand tapestry of existence, there are still places where the answers slip through our fingers, lost in the endless dark. If the Boötes Void is truly expanding, then what exactly is causing this process? Conventional astrophysics tells us that cosmic voids grow over time as galaxies move away from lower-density regions due to the gravitational pull of surrounding structures. But could there be something else at play? Something actively consuming matter within the void? One speculative idea is that an unknown force, possibly a form of exotic energy, is pushing galaxies outward, creating an ever-growing zone of emptiness. Some researchers have proposed that such a force could be related to dark energy, the mysterious component of the universe that drives its accelerated expansion. But dark energy is thought to act on a universal scale, whereas the Boötes Void is a localized phenomenon. If there is an additional force at work here, it could imply that voids like Boötes are not just passive empty spaces but active agents of cosmic evolution. But what if the Boötes Void is not just expanding but erasing matter entirely? This brings us to one of the most mind-bending possibilities, that the void is evidence of an ongoing process of cosmic deletion. If there exists some unknown mechanism that can remove galaxies, stars, and even entire clusters from the fabric of the universe, then we may be looking at the aftermath of such an event. One radical hypothesis suggests that the Boötes Void could be the aftermath of a collision between our universe and another. In certain cosmological models, the early universe may have experienced interactions with other, pocket universes, in a multiverse scenario. If two universes were to collide, the result could be a massive disturbance in the fabric of space-time, potentially creating a void like Boötes. In this case, the lack of galaxies would not be due to a simple absence of matter but rather the lingering effects of a catastrophic event on a scale beyond human comprehension. Another chilling idea is that the void is a footprint of something that has traveled through the cosmos, leaving a trail of nothingness in its wake. If an unknown entity, or a physical process, exists that can consume or destroy galaxies, then the Boötes Void may be just one example of its work. Some theorists have speculated that a highly advanced civilization, far beyond our level of technological understanding, could be responsible for such a phenomenon. If they had the ability to manipulate spacetime, extract energy on a galactic scale, or even dismantle entire star systems for unknown purposes, then the void might be evidence of their presence. Could this be a case of cosmic engineering on an unimaginable scale? If so, then the galaxies on the outskirts of the Boötes Void may be at risk of being erased in the future. What if whatever created this void is still operating, slowly expanding its reach across the universe? But there is another even more unsettling possibility. What if the Boötes Void is not the only one? What if there are other vast empty regions in the cosmos that have not yet been discovered? We already know that voids are a common feature of large-scale cosmic structure, but most are not nearly as extreme as Boötes. If similar voids exist elsewhere, it could indicate that something is systematically affecting the universe in ways we do not yet understand. One speculative idea is that these voids could be regions where the fundamental properties of reality are breaking down. Some physicists have proposed that our universe exists in a metastable state, meaning it is not in its lowest possible energy configuration. If this is the case, then there is a chance that a process called vacuum decay could occur, a catastrophic event in which a lower energy state of the universe spreads outward at the speed of light, erasing everything in its path. If the Boötes Void is evidence of a past vacuum decay event, then we may be looking at a glimpse of what could one day consume our entire universe. This would mean that the void is not just an anomaly but a warning, a reminder that the cosmos is not as stable as it appears, and that destruction on an unimaginable scale may already be happening in places we have yet to observe. But what if the void is not a remnant of destruction, but rather a place where something still exists, hidden from our view? If an advanced civilization wanted to create a region of space that was completely undetectable to outside observers, they might engineer a void like Boötes. By removing all sources of visible light and radiation, they could effectively cloak themselves from the rest of the universe. This brings us to one of the most fascinating possibilities, that the Boötes Void is a deliberate construct, a kind of cosmic hiding place. If this is the case, then it may be the largest example of artificial engineering in the known universe, a vast region deliberately designed to be invisible. Could it be that civilizations capable of manipulating galaxies on this scale exist, and that we are simply too primitive to recognize their work? If so, then what are they hiding from? And could they be watching us, even as we struggle to understand the mysteries of their creation? For now, the Boötes Void remains one of the most profound enigmas in modern astrophysics. Its very existence challenges our understanding of the universe, forcing us to confront possibilities that range from the scientific to the truly extraordinary. Whether it is a natural feature, the result of an ancient catastrophe, or something far stranger, one thing is certain: the more we learn about the Boötes Void, the more questions arise. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, we may one day find answers that completely redefine our place in the universe. This video is for educational or entertainment purposes only, and information provided in the video may be incorrect. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing videos.